Yeah.
He was here. If you were here, you had no control. Here, his wrist took everything.
Yeah.
And you like this?
Hotep and Bill.
Kanye on that drum. All right, so welcome back to Sunday's Corner, everybody. How you doing, sis? Welcome to the show.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through. If it seems like, oh, she's not even giving these people intros. No, I don't give them intros. I let them speak for them damn selves.
I thought my plight in life was about saving the world until I realized I didn't have the skills or the tools to save myself.
Yep. If you're not activating now, then what are you doing? Wasting my time, wasting your time. So let's go. Until next week.
Welcome. Her name is Kim Clayson. Clap it up for Kim Clayson. We love it. Kim Clayson, ladies and gentlemen. There she is.
It does look good. We are going to be flipping seats. Like I said, a lot of the states did go through redistricting. Maryland was one of them, Florida, New Jersey. So we'll be flipping a lot of seats in really good areas.
Sonny Johnson.
Oh, is it on? Like, it ain't like I'm not loud enough. I can't hear it. You know, I can be loud without music. And that, you know, before that, I was always like, I'm Hotep adjacent. You know, I would always say that. But when you got to that point, when I was like, okay, now it's Hotep.
What point did you get to?
Hotep the bill. The point where when you hit the realization that it's not about necessarily winning the argument or fighting with the left or fighting with, you know what I'm saying? No, it's not about that. Now, I'm going to create the platform where you can find the content.
These last 5 years of my life have been absolutely amazing, and Chad has been a mentor and helped shape my brain. So if they call me a radical, I've been radicalized by Chad. He's the one that turned me into an anarchist.
Who's the bigger black supremacy? Talking about you guys.
The person who made sure we were government compliant and made us a non-profit organization officially. Shout out to Trish. Did an amazing job helping me out. I really appreciate her. Shout out to Crypto Wendy for coming out. Thank you, Crypto Wendy. Wendy, shout out to Syscoin, our sponsor. You know, shout out to Pearly Things.
Secret Service, my handler. Take a picture of Reparations. Arrogant like a mother.
try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
Two, one, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
What's up, people?
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
We back. Damn, hold on. Forgot my costume.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, man. Welcome to the Grift Report, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. It's Hotep Thursday. I was over here trying to find the record of the day. And I don't know what I'm going to play. I don't know what I'm in the mood for. I'm in a really, I'm in an interesting mood today. And I don't know what I want to play. Hold on. We gotta have some music. All right, let's pull this up. Let's play. Let's see. Let's go with all right, let's go with here. You can never go wrong.
I don't know independent woman or a boss girl. Because deep down on the women they lost, girl. Ay, take the fake hair out, take the makeup off, girl. I like you better when you natural. I don't wanna argue all the time. Oh no. Why you at the club if you know you mine? Don't know. And girl, you know I'm on my grind for you. I want you to ease my mind. That's true. Girl, be my peace. Hey, hey, hey. Hey.
I need this record in the club with a little baddie on me.
Peace.
You know what I mean? Me and my shorty in the corner of the club.
Oh.
It's all dark.
Let me provide and let me lead. Give you everything you need. Ain't no half and half with me. I got it all. Or would you focus on a career? When we have kids, they need you here. Either that or get the government involved. No, no. We supposed to show them the way. Do that thing they won't depart. Hey, let me be your light in the dark. I'm the body, you be my heart, yeah. I'm the fire, you be my spark, hey. Oh, let's get it up. Hey, tell the devil he can't eat with us. We just do it Yahweh, cause he be with us. Ooh. Wait, I don't know independent woman or a boss girl. Because deep down on the women they lost, girl. Ay, take the fake hair out, take the makeup off, girl.
Take it off, baby.
Girl, be my peace.
That's all I need, baby.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Girl, be my peace.
Rice and Gray, be my peace.
Oh, girl, be my peace. Ay, 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 ay. Girl, be my peace. Oh.
Oh shit. I hate when that happens. All right. Let's get to the Grift Report. There's a couple of topics here I'm going to run through quickly. Just to give you an update.
Lord.
I like that record too. God's Dance. That shit is dope. I was trying to decide between God's Dance and the freestyle on here. Close that. What's this? Let's close that. All right, where we at? So it's a couple of things in here. Dr. Mercola, he's pretty famous. Been famous for a while now. He's having troubles. SBF. Tina Knowles having a divorce from her husband. Some Andrew Tate stuff is in the bag today. Reparations is in the discussion. Pearly Things is in the discussion. Let's start with Pearly Things. Uncle Hotep, he gonna have to answer for this. He gonna have to answer for this one. Pearly Things posted this tweet yesterday and then swiftly deleted it. Says here, 16-year-old chicks are hotter than 26-year-old chicks. What? What are we doing? What are we doing, Pearly? See, this is what we call excessive grifting. This is excessive grifting over the speed limit. This is why we say you got to be careful not to be consumed by the grift. Because when you're consumed by the grift, it'll have you typing irrational things into the Twitter sphere in the hopes of getting engagement. As you see, this thing here had almost 1 million views before it got deleted. I don't know what she was thinking when she typed this. Mukhtar has disavowed. He has since disavowed his boo Pearly Things. Yeah, that's a no-go, Pearly. It's a no-go. You gotta do better, man. You know, and I was rooting for Pearly. I really wanted her to be successful, and I hope she's still successful. I'm sure she'll slide right by this misstep here. But here's the lesson to be learned. You know, when your brand begins to get traction. Oh, let me fix this on your screen. It's a little off today because I was streaming chess last night. If you guys didn't catch that stream, it's on the TriMaster Focus YouTube channel. Just playing some chess games last night. Went undefeated. That was cool. And maybe I'll bring back streaming chess. Maybe I'll do it on Kick, or I'll start a gaming channel on Rumble. I don't know. But here's the lesson to be learned. Once your brand gets a certain amount of traction, you don't have to try as hard. What you have to do is you have to develop a system, get a nice team around you, wake up, iterate, ideate, execute, organize, communicate, and just do that day in, day out. You don't got to do too much. When you're looking for these home run tweets, sometimes you say something stupid. So I would say try to tweet from the heart, but I don't know where Pearly's heart is. You know, it just seems like, and I said this in our interview with her, it just seemed like she was just riding trends, whatever trend it was, she was riding it. And the issue is, there's nothing wrong with riding a trend, but when you ride the trend, you should have some experience in that lane, some knowledge, do some research, etc., etc. do your due diligence. For example, I'll give you a good example. The Orwell trend, right? Like everybody says, oh, Orwell. 1984, Animal Farm, all of these things, right? So I too was caught up in that trend, but I caught myself as I was typing these words, 1984, Orwellian, all these terms, right? I caught myself and I said, I haven't even read any Orwell. I'm not familiar with his work. So that's what I did. I sat down and I got familiar with his work, and I read a good portion of his work to become familiar and understand, his mindset. So I'm not LARPing. So, Pearly, if you happen to watch this, hey, we're rooting for you, man. We're rooting for you, rooting for all the grifters. Don't LARP. Just be honest. I think at this point in Pearly's life, she's a young girl. Ask questions. That's the best thing you can do at your young age. Document your journey and ask questions. If I was to do this whole thing over again, I wouldn't come out the gate as some sort of guru, as sort of a thought leader, industry leader. I wouldn't do that at a young age. At a young age, I would ask a lot of questions and share my experience and share my growth journey. That's what I would do. And I think she needs to, she has a great platform, and she has many thought leaders who grace her platform. I saw a clip the other day with Sterling Cooper, and he was doing some content with her. And Sterling Cooper, he's a pro. He's an expert in his industry and in the topics he speaks on. I've had him on the platform before as well. We've interviewed him. And just let them do the work and sit back and learn. But again, this is why I say, these trad chicks, these trad conservative chicks, they gotta stay in the kitchen.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
All right, let's go to the next story. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's go right here. Let's go pull this up. It says, I agree. Sadly, when we get reparations, most of it will go to non-black business. If black people got reparations checks tomorrow, non-black businesses like Gucci would make billions of dollars. As soon as you get some money, you go right to the people who don't like you, just so you can flex on people who like you, who look like you. And this is a skit that was performed by Dave Chappelle on his show many years ago, probably a couple of decades now. And it's true. It's true. So let me tell you, subjective and an objective view on reparations. Subjective, I don't give a damn. Give me my check, right? If we're getting a check, give me it. I'm not asking for one, but if you got a check from me, like when Trump sent out that $1,200, the hood celebrated. I took that $1,200. You better believe it, right? So these little stimmies, if the government got a stimmy for me, I'm taking it. Okay. Now that's the subjective. Objective, I'm like, yeah, reparations is probably not a good idea at the current state that the black community is in. As I talked about before in my introduction to CRT, I've been doing some introductions to CRT over the past few weeks. But you need to take a strong, hard look at the economic status of the black community. If you take a good, hard look at it, based upon two numbers, gross national product and gross domestic product, and like I said before, if we're going to talk about CRT, you must discuss GDP and GNP. You got to know how are your goods circulating within the country you live in, and how are goods circulating with the international community. Okay? So, if you were to take a look at it, you would see, I believe Dr. Claude Anderson has the numbers on this stuff, but much of the money in the black community does not circulate. It tends to leave the community, go to other communities, and never return. And we want to blame other people for not investing in our communities, but I think that's something we got to do ourselves. We're gonna, if you're gonna be one of these pro-blacks, invest in yourself, invest in your community. Let's start building enterprise. Let's get involved in tech projects. Let's get involved in construction. It's going to be a lot of construction projects coming in the near future. Tons and tons of construction projects. So starting construction companies, carpentry, HVAC, plumbing, electricity. All of these industries are wide open for the taking because the only people that want to do them are illegals. So it's a huge, huge gap in the market to come and take over. But it's true. It's true. A lot of the money will be spent with Gucci. And then, so my concern is the reparations check gets issued. All of the money leaves the black community. 10 years later, what happens? Everybody goes, oh, I need another check. And then the government's going to be like, nope. You had your chance. We gave you money and you blew it. That's one of my biggest fears. Anyway, like I said, we're just going to run through these topics so we can get to the more pressing matters here. Let's go to Dr. Mercola. Dr. Mercola, and again, I want to get to the phone lines early today. Spend some time with you fucks. You folks. Yay. I see somebody in the chat working on Rolex, working on Syscoin. Super dope. So Dr. Mercola here. Let me make sure you can see this good on your screen. Okay, wonderful. Dr. Mercola says Chase Bank has shut down our business bank accounts along with the accounts of my CEO and CFO, as well as their family members, including spouse and child. They refuse to provide any reason for doing so. The oldest account has been active 18 years. We have an article here. Fix that. On Florida's Voice. It says retail health company has Chase accounts suddenly terminated. Owner critical of COVID vaccines and FDA. And there's an article here. We're not going to spend much time at all going over this. But I'll say this. Here's what I'll say. Hold on, let's go back to the tweet while I speak. So anybody who shows up late knows the topic of conversation. Anybody who's read The Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity. Let's put that up on your screen. You're going to go to hotepjesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. Hotepjesus.com.
We're going to go down to the section that's going to say library. And under library, you'll see all 3 books I've written. Great documents. Dominate Twitters on marketing. I'll have to rewrite that book at some point and rename it X, Dominate X, I guess. Anyway. Then we have The Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, where I teach you how to make her submit. And then we have here the Patriot Report, not to be confused with the Grift Report. And if you read the Patriot Report, Chase Bank, J.P. Morgan, I believe it's Salmon P. Chase. Some people say he's not connected with Chase Bank, or some people say he is. Oh, we got the Chase family. You know, what you have to understand about history, United States history, is J.P. Morgan not only has had a humongous hand in American politics, but also European politics, even German politics, pre-Nazi, during the Nazi regime, and post-Nazi regime. I believe he was one of the people that was, what report was that? I can't remember the name of the report. It's because there's so many reports. Because the first thing that came to mind was the Dulles Report. It's not the Dulles Report. It's another financial statement when Germany had to pay reparations. Everybody remember when Germany wore reparations? what was the name of that treaty again? Treaty of Versailles? No, it's not Treaty of Versailles. The Paris. Okay, yeah, the Paris peace treaties is one. It's not the one I'm thinking of though. Yes, the Yalta Conference. And the reason why I want to find this is I like to educate my audience to give them a springboard to start their own research. Oh, wait, here it is. No, that's not it. I thought my eyes caught something. Is it the Treaty of Versailles? Yeah, it's the Treaty of Versailles. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the Treaty of Versailles. But there was a report, is the one I was thinking of, I believe. Is it the Dawes report? Hold on. Treaty of Versailles. What was the report that went into the Treaty of Versailles? Right. Keynes is involved here. I covered that in my book. Here we go, right here. Found it. I said Dawes. That's why I had D in my name. The Dawes Plan. The Dawes Plan. This is by the Dawes Committee. Charles G. Dawes. I said Dawes. It's Dawes. So it's the Dawes Plan that you want to take a look at in regards to World War I reparations Germany had to pay at the end. Okay. So this is the plan that is connected to the Treaty of Versailles. That's the one I was trying to find here. You got the Dawes Committee. So whenever you look at this, you'll see right here, and I'll show you, in an agreement of August 1924, the main points of the Dawes Plan were: one, hold on, let me make sure you guys can see this because I know you can't right now. Okay, let's fix that. Boom. So it says here, one, the rural area was to be evacuated by foreign troops. Reparations payments will begin at 1 billion marks the first year. Marks are the currency of Germany for my younger cats that are not aware. Increasing annually to 2.5 billion marks after 5 years. The Reichsbank, the German bank, would be reorganized under Allied supervision. The sources for the reparation money would include transportation, excise, and custom taxes. Germany would be loaned about $200 million. So you set up reparations. Meanwhile, you loan it. You loan Germany money so they can pay these reparations, a loan that they would not be able to support. And it says right here, Germany would be loaned $200 million primarily through Wall Street bonds issued in the United States. Okay, now that's all set up to show you the next paragraph here. It says the bond issues were overseen by a consortium of American investment banks led by J.P. Morgan and Company. When it comes to world politics, globalism, you cannot talk about globalism. You cannot talk about world politics. You cannot begin to do any money traces without first looking at J.P. Morgan and Company, J.P. Morgan Chase. Okay. He said, what companies got paid to rebuild Germany? Well, I covered that in my book too. One of them was Esso, which is now Exxon. AEG, which is now General Electric. And you see right here, AEG. My German isn't that good, so I'm not going to try and pronounce this. But AEG is one of those companies. But there's a bunch of companies, right? Also, there was a company out of Standard Oil. Was Standard Oil out of New Jersey? I think Standard Oil was out of New Jersey because I'm thinking of another company out of New Jersey. So yeah, it's Standard Oil. That's the Rockefeller Consortium. And hold on, let me see if it's right here. Okay, that's what it was. Yep, Standard Oil of New Jersey. I thought it was a connection there between Standard Oil. I'll be on my Master Focus. When you take Master Focus, your brain does wonderful things. And you see here today, you see it's known as ExxonMobil Corporation. So, yeah. So going back, in order to understand Germany reparations, you have to take a look at the Treaty of Versailles, but more specifically the Dawes Plan that put the German economy into debt. And I always tell people colonialism, really, the ultimate goal of communism is to create debt. Not communism too. Colonialism, to colonize. The modern way to colonize is to create debt. Okay. So again, J.P. Morgan Chase, Dawes Plan, DAWES for all my Spotify listeners. Okay. Now, let's go back now. Let's go back to the tweet. So when you see Dr. Mercola is speaking out against a globalist agenda, and all of a sudden you see Chase Bank shut down his accounts, I can't help but to make some connections there. I just can't help do that. I can't help but to do that. We saw this also happen with Ye. He made his comments, which I thought were egregious and uneducated and misled, as he grouped all Jews together, because we don't like when we group all black people together, so it's unfair to group all Jews together. But suspending his bank accounts, I think, was a bit much. A bit much. So, yeah. Damien, he said, love your content, brother. Glad to have found your channel. Hey, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. So, Dr. Mercola, I wish you the best, but this is a warning to everybody. If you plan on speaking out, if you plan on having a company, corporation, don't bank with J.P. Morgan Chase. Don't just don't bank with JPM. Don't bank with Chase, because you run the risk of them shutting down your accounts, which would be a huge inconvenience for front office as they try to, or back office, I should say, as they try to, fix your banking system. Anyway, let's go back. We're going to talk about SBF in a minute. Let's take a look at this. Beyonce's mama has divorced. This is her second divorce, I believe. She was first married to Beyonce's father, Mr. Knowles. And then she married this gentleman by the name of Richard Lawson. Let's play the tape.
Type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. No. He has a lot of the qualities that that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there is hope, women, ladies. Type of man I wanted. I prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, he has a lot of the qualities. No. He has a lot of the qualities that that I love, and we're having a really good time, and I'm enjoying life. So there.
Hold on. My curious mind wants to delineate the Dawes Plan from the Dawes Plan. So we'll come back to the Dawes Doctrine or the Dawes Plan in just a moment. Let's finish up here with Beyonce. I have to create some separation in my mind and refreshers. This is a huge issue when you study so much stuff that they begin to blend together. But as you can see here, she says, hey, I list some things about him, but he's not perfect, etc., etc. And the funny thing about this is he's now trending because the internet was looking through his likes. Now, I can't show you the video of him looking through his likes because his likes are full of pornography. Full of pornography. Now, here's the issue when boomers get on the internet. They have no idea what they're doing. And they leave themselves exposed. Now, a gentleman like this, who is obviously connected to a high-profile family and the Beyonce connection, should be a lot more careful with how he operates in the public. And he has since deleted his Twitter account because people have discovered that when they click on his likes, he's liking pornographic material. people have responded and said, hey, why don't you DM this stuff to you? Do you know how to use bookmarks, etc., etc.? But there's a huge pornographic addiction that men have been captured by, which begins to damage the brain in many ways, and I'm not going to go in through today, but it could begin to alter your perception of what your bedroom fun should look like. And that's where the problems, I won't say they start, but become detrimental to a relationship. As you start having these different expectations. Obviously, this woman here, Miss Tina Knowles, is not going to be able to compete with some OnlyFans, Instagram booty model or whatever the hell he's looking for, or some porn star or something like that. Definitely not going to be able to compete. So it's best to keep those things out of your mind and enjoy your lovemaking with your wife. Huge problem. But fellas, listen, stop. Even if you're not a high profile person, stop liking porn, man. And another thing, I had this thought the other day. I was talking to one of the homies, and I'm on Instagram, and some booty model pops up, and my dumb ass clicks on it. And what do I see right there? My homie's following the account. So now the new game is when I see something pop up like that on the Explore page, I click on it to see if I can guess which one of my friends have followed her. Because the Explore page, your feed, is feeding you stuff not only based upon your algorithm, but what your friends are liking. So your Explore page now is being fed to you by your friends. So if your friends like a whole lot of, models or whatever, and they're following these people, this now is going to end up on your Explore page and your main feed. And it's going to say your friend liked this. So, this is dry snitching by Instagram, etc., etc. But I'll say this, fellas. You can enjoy looking at a beautiful woman without following her. I don't know, bookmark her page or something. But the issue is when we start following these women, it gives them a sort of currency, and it starts to degrade our society, because women say, men come out and they say, hey, we want a trad wife. We want this. Stop, showing all your body parts. But the actions say otherwise. The actions say this woman has 1 million followers and she's making 20 grand a month or whatever it is. So the actions and the money are saying a completely different story, and women are going to start to move in that direction. Last night I was on a Twitter Spaces with Six. We had Cheyenne, who is a follower of mine. She's in the adult entertainment industry, and I have a handful of followers who are in that industry who enjoy conservative content and enjoy the promotion and proliferation and even the creation of conservative style right-wing content. So we were talking last night, and I had a bunch of questions about the adult entertainment industry, and one of my questions was, how did you get involved in this industry, or why? And she blatantly said money, obviously. So we can't begin to fault women while men throw all this money at them. Is this something that we're likely to stop in the near future? No. But can you stop it with yourself? Can you stop it with the next generation of your own family, of your friends? Yes, we can. So anytime I have the opportunity, I had a gentleman join the Twitter Spaces last night, and he brought up the adult entertainment industry and how he enjoys that type of content. He mentioned a few websites, and I told him, I say, bro, you got to leave that stuff alone. And as we began to talk, he started to explain, like, yeah, I know it does this, it's bad for this, and it's bad for that, and, all these different things. So I'm like, what it's doing to you, yet you still partake in that type of material. So I urge you all to go outside and touch ass.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You know how they say, touch grass? No. The new thing is touch ass.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Hotep Jesus?
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
And I don't mean it in a rapey way. I know some of you motherfuckers are weird. I mean, get a woman, begin a consensual relationship, and touch some real ass. I don't care if it's big ass, no ass, flat back ass, whatever ass it is, get you a handful or a half a handful of ass. Okay? So that's the new phrase. It's no longer go outside and touch grass. It's go outside and touch ass. Because some of you haven't touched ass in a really long time. In fact, they're talking about the rates of virginity among men are the highest they've ever been. Men cannot get laid. And I'm telling you right now, a huge portion of the reason why you can't get laid is because you watch porn. Now, let's go back to my website, Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, HotepJesus.com.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I'm going to tell you, in this document, I'm going to tell you exactly why women are turned off when you watch porn, even if they don't know you watch porn. There's something about women that they can sense it. And I explain that in my book, The Unbreakable Rules of Masculinity, available at HotepJesus.com or Amazon. All right? So, fellas, trivia time.
Alhamdulillah.
I hit the wrong button. Trivia time. For $50 worth of Sis coins sent to you on your Pally wallet. Make sure you download the Pally wallet. Send you $50 for this question. This is easy. What's the new phrase? First one to tell me the new phrase. Type it in the chat. First one wins. I'm watching the race. Watching the race. Let's see who wins. In the meantime, while we wait for those answers to come up, I want to go back here and look at the dolls plan, because this is this dolls plan has come across my desk and my studies, obviously because I study Russia for fun, mostly the Russian Revolution. So it says here the Dawes Plan, or the Dawes Doctrine, is a central document of conspiracy theory according to which the CIA and Chief Allen Dulles have developed a plan for the United States to destroy the Soviet Union during the Cold War by secretly corrupting the cultural and moral values of the Soviet nation. Oh, yeah, that's what this is. Okay. That's why this was in my head. The Dawes Plan. Yes. Hold on, let me highlight this. I'm not going to go into extensive detail here. It says here the plan was first published in Russia shortly after the dissolution of the USSR and was often quoted by prominent Russian politicians, journalists, and writers. So I'm not going to go into it. Again, I just want to put that on your desk so that you have something to begin your research on, and then we can cross-reference with each other. So I brought up the Dawes Plan earlier. By mistake, I meant to say the Dawes Plan, but it's the Dawes. It was Dawes Plan, not the Dawes Plan. So anyway, for my people who still know how to read, said the Dawes brothers were some real racists. Really? I haven't gotten into that. Don Day said, you grift in your book. I got to, man. I don't have a job, man. I gotta make some money, you know. The best way to do that is offer people a product that makes their lives better instead of grifting. Did anybody get it yet? John Binky, yes, I actually have read that book. It's a fucking marvelous document, and I believe that anyone who wants to understand Russia needs to read that. In fact, if you want to know about Jewish people, you should read that book. Very, very interesting title. In fact, I believe if the what they call anti-Semites were to read that book, from my point of view, it looks like you don't have much of a case for Jews run the world. It's not much of that case when you begin to dive into the history of Jews in that region. You begin to see a real picture. In fact, it reminds me much of being black. For various reasons, especially a modern day black, where, you know, a minority, a select few at the top get to speak for us. Dan Goldstein got it. I think Goldstein was the first one to get it. Am I a Jew expert now? I'm not expert. I'm definitely intermediate, though. I definitely could whoop a lot of y'all asses in regards to that conversation. I've done a ton of studies on it, mostly because I used to be one of those people that they would call an anti-Semite until I started. The more I researched, the more I realized, okay, maybe I was wrong. Ugh. So shout out to Goldstein. $50 worth of Syscoin. Which reminds me. Hotep Con's around the corner. Hope y'all coming. If you're not, feel bad for you. Let's put this up on the screen. Off-road experience with Syscoin. Shout out to Patrick. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the whole Syscoin team for supporting the Hotep Nation project and making Hotep Con that much better. You're gonna be this is the off-road experience. You guys, if you guys like the outdoors, like nature, this is for you. It's gonna be happening Hotep Con weekend. Right after the conference, you're gonna hop in one of these beautiful trucks, go out, and you're even gonna have dinner in the desert. How amazing is that? You're gonna do some grilling in the desert. For Hotep Con ticket holders only. So if you want to know how to enter to win, I emailed the details to you, all Hotep Con ticket holders. And anybody else interested, you can hit the link in the description box below and I'll show you how to get involved. So anyway, congratulations to Goldstein for paying attention and keeping you guys on your toes. So congrats to him. $50 worth of Syscoin. Go get the Pally wallet so I can send that to you, Goldstein. P-A-L-I. Everybody, you're going to need this wallet right here. You're going to need the Pally wallet. If you want to win crypto, I give away crypto on this channel. I have over $1,000 worth of crypto to give away. It's my own crypto, by the way. That I bought with my own money. It was not given to me. This is my own money. Okay, so this isn't, although they are my sponsor, they did not sponsor this giveaway. This is just something that I thought was important because some of you have never held the keys to your coins, and some of you don't have a seed phrase. Some of you aren't in crypto, and I want to bring you over because this is the future. CBDC coming. You're going to be dying to be in crypto when the CBDC hits because they're going to be snooping on all your transactions. So this is the best way to do it. It's free. Pally wallet is free. Takes probably 30 seconds to download. P-A-L-I wallet. Get the wallet, and then we can start sending you Syscoin. Or you can begin to look through the Pally wallet and get yourself warmed up there. Yeah, Steph, you got to give back, man. You got to give back. But really my goal is I want to be one of those people that introduce people to crypto. Because many people on the right are not, they get a bad introduction or they get an FTX style introduction and they think it's a scam and all this other stuff. And so I want to give them a good introduction to all of that. Anyway, let's go back. Shout out to Syscoin. All right, we're going to talk about Andrew Tate. Then we're going to talk about Hunter and SBF. And then we'll open up phone lines. We're making good time. Let's pull up this thing right here. Again, do your own cross-reference checking here. But looks like some information in regards to the Andrew Tate case has unfolded, and it says here exclusive insider. And I don't know who the news movement is. I don't know if I can trust them. Rollo follows them, but I don't know if they're a leftist organization or what. But anyway, hold on. Okay. Insider, who worked for Andrew Tate, exposes his $8,000 War Room Members Club. Eli Axenpan, Zampa, whatever, claims that the War Room is a cult and that the group organized campaigns to silence critics while bragging about manipulating women to make webcam adult content. Now, one thing I'll say is when people use the term cult, I usually hate it because cult is short for culture. People have called Hotep Nation a cult, and I'm like, well, maybe we are, right? But I think cult gets a very bad has a very bad reputation. You start to think of people like, I I don't know, who was the guy that said he was Jesus, the real crazy motherfucker in jail now? I haven't brought up his name in years, but anyway, you know, his following ends up killing themselves or something like that. You know, Cheyenne, what's up? Okay, so Cheyenne Jewelers in the chat, and Cheyenne, we were just talking about you. We were just talking about you and your experience in the adult entertainment industry in our chat last night on the Spaces. So it's good to have you here. What up, Cheyenne? One day we're going to pull Cheyenne out of the adult entertainment industry, or God will. But in the meantime, we're not, I don't, that's the one thing about me, you know, when women get into the sex industry, I don't judge the individual woman. I judge the entire entertainment industry. And like I said before, I really blame it on men, because if it wasn't for men, these women would go find other things to do. Charles Manson, thank you. Charles Manson, that's the guy I was thinking of. His women would be finding other type of work because there would be no money in it. So without the huge amount of capital flying into that industry and people consuming it, you can't really blame somebody, the individual like Cheyenne, who's getting paid, you know, pretty penny. And I asked her why, and interesting enough, she said because she loves horses and she spends her money on taking care of her horses. So at least she's not spending it on Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or, you know, drugs or something like that. She's, you know, dealing with animals in her passion. So shout out to Cheyenne. Okay, so it says here, his allegations include Tate's PhD course turns women into slaves to do webcam adult content. Bots target Tate critics. The War Room can influence staff at social media companies. Members have sent men to the homes of critics. Tate mega fans exploited for $250K or more. I don't know. You know, let's dive into how much of this I believe. Now, does Tate have or had a course on webcam adult entertainment? Yes, I've seen that with my own eyes in the past. I have seen it. I remember him selling that course. As far as bots, I can't say for certain. I mean, everybody has bots, right? I don't have any bots currently, but the issue with bots are fans could create those on their own. Like somebody could just create a bot farm because they're a fan of mine, and I would have no control over that, right? So let's take that out. War Room can influence staff at social media companies. I don't see that happening. I'm not saying it couldn't, but as leftist as these people are, I'm like, I don't know. So that one's a little bit in question. Members have sent men to the homes of critics. I don't remember anything like that, so I can't speak to that. And Tate mega fans exploited for $250K. I don't know how you can exploit your fans. If people want to give you money, then that's not exploitation. It's them paying you because they enjoy the content. Anyway, let's dive into the deeper details here. It says Eli, whatever that says, had access to Andrew Tate's personal social media accounts to sell his virtual courses for 2 years. Leaked chat logs from the War Room's private Telegram channels obtained from another source by TNM, the news movement, support many of his claims. And email here says, let's put this on your screen so you can see it. Says, turned 25 today. Happy to say I'm single, dating. Yet looking forward to new insight from you guys. I used to be a coach with roughly 80 to 50K a month and quit 2 weeks ago to focus on OnlyFans fully. I trained since I'm 20, started kickboxing recently, found Tate, Okay, so he had a coaching business that had a revenue of 50 to 80K a month and decided he wanted to become an e-pimp, I'm assuming. Here he says, work hard. Nothing that's worth something is attainable easily. Always keep growing and don't quit. Blank and I were all in last Thursday at a club smoking cigars. One chap comes up to me and says, you remind me of Andrew Tate. We are on a mission to conquer the entire universe, not just the online realm. We have just begun. Okay, so then he says here, it's fucked up because she could easily earn 50K per month, but now she wants to quit modeling and go to university. Also, the stress fucks up her skin, acne, eats less, affects my relationship with her. I'm sorry to say that I am not able to do anything alone at my scale. What I thought about, and I'm seriously willing to do so, is to damage the facilities, But then I do not know if it's the smartest thing to do. Thus, I am consulting you G's and reaching for your help. She's my main girl, 18 years old, virgin prior, doesn't party even in this environment, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, absolute angel, wouldn't harm anyone, does not deserve that. Any help will be greatly appreciated. We'll pay anyone that could leave an impact on the piece of shit agency. Of course, everything I said is supportive evidence. And then there's a response here, say, use this to put on her OnlyFans. I've had enough of you working for others. It doesn't work. You're working for me now. We're doing this together. That way you control the money flow. So, okay, so some evidence of e-pimping. People asking for advice on e-pimping. It says, Eli explains in detail Tate's PhD, which stands for apparently Pimpin' Hoes degree. So there's a course on Pimpin' Hoes, which teaches men how to get women to do webcam adult content. Disturbing leaks from the PhD chat room show Tate taking bets on whether he can manipulate a woman to webcam for him. So here he is, I guess, taking bets or whatever that screenshot is. So far, this is very underwhelming. Andrew Tate is awaiting trial on charges of human trafficking, rape, and forming an organized crime group, which he denies. His spokeswoman told us that Eli worked as an affiliate and was not directly employed. For details, read here. If you want to know how all this started, check our 20-minute doc. We also investigated Andrew Tate's claims that he's linked to the Romanian mafia, and we examined the allegations of sex trafficking against him, what he said, and some of the evidence in the Romanian case. So, like I said, this thread so far is quite underwhelming, but let's dive into this clip here. Looks like they had an interview with Andrew Tate at some point, so let's play this and see what's here.
CobraTake.com, and I've got a course on there that basically explains how I got girls to work for me. For
Tate's PhD, right?
It's a PhD course, Pimping Hoes degree.
Basically, the PhD method is you will sleep with a woman, and then you will ignore her, and then she will come and beg for your attention. You put a woman into a cycle of Pavlovian conditioning to where you give her less attention, and she gives you more sex, and she also gives you more servitude in terms of her doing things for you, whether that's cooking for you, cleaning for you, or eventually, as you said, doing OnlyFans webcam. So she fully depends on you, and she has no autonomy of her own. You manipulate her into being your slave, perhaps, quote unquote, and then she will do anything for you. And that's a PhD successfully executed. And then you would post it up inside the war room and you get loads of applause and stuff.
All right, so here's what I'll say, okay? If you bought a Pimpin' Hoes course from Andrew Tate, I don't want to hear from you now.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I don't want to hear from you. I really don't. You should be thrown in jail with Andrew Tate. Don't try and come out because Andrew Tate didn't pay you or whatever reason you're mad. Now you're mad because Andrew Tate didn't pay you or your relationship went sour and now you're like, oh, I'm going to expose him. That shit's corny, bro. That shit is fucking corny. Don't do that shit, bro. Don't do that. That's super lame. At the time, you thought it was a good idea to be a fucking e-pimp. You went along with it. You bought the course. You tried to be an e-pimp. You failed at being an e-pimp, potentially. Maybe you're successful at it. I don't know. It looks like you failed at it because if you were successful at it, you probably wouldn't be here trying to expose Andrew Tate. But here's the thing. This can get convoluted quickly, so I'll try to simplify this. If you are e-pimping, in fact, let's not even say that. OnlyFans is a form of sex trafficking. The adult entertainment industry is technically called sex trafficking. Human trafficking or sex trafficking is under the umbrella of human trafficking, potentially. Yeah, I think it's under the umbrella of human trafficking, although the two are not synonymous. Sex trafficking is a form of human trafficking because you need humans in order to have sex trafficking. Hopefully you're doing it with humans, because if you're doing it with animals, oh my God.
Alhamdulillah.
You know, and I don't know if you guys remember Ice Bay. You guys remember Ice Bay? Whatever happened to her? Whatever happened to Ice Bay? What is her name again? But Ice Bay reached out to me and she said, I need your help. I'm going to OnlyFans. I'm not going to be posting any nudity, but I'm going to post photos of myself. You know, I guess, I don't know, lingerie type stuff. You know, like shit you see on Instagram for free, right? Basically. But it's Ice Bay, so I guess guys would buy it. And she asked me to help her out. So why did I bring that up? I think in one aspect, you can look at that type of industry as, and she has since, I think she fell off. I don't know what happened to Ice Bay. I can't even find her. I don't know. But anyway, I think all right, let's put it like this. I believe that men are really good, especially men with successful businesses, right? Men have created successful businesses and they know something about growing businesses. So they look at women, and these women, all they know is, hey, you know, how to look cute and show off my ass, right? But somebody has to do like the legwork. So, for example, what they do is they hire VAs, virtual assistants or now they're using AI, and AI is actually responding to men on OnlyFans. So the women don't have to do all of the legwork, and then the guys they're botting, they'll create like massive bot farms, and they'll grow these Instagram accounts. And then the Instagram accounts will promote the girls and then lead them to the girls' OnlyFans, at which men will purchase the material. Now, once upon a time, I had a friend come to me and he said he wanted to produce an OnlyFans competitor. And at first, all I saw were dollar signs. And after a couple of weeks, I'm like, wait a second. I don't think I want to be involved in the sex entertainment industry. I hadn't thought about it at the time. I just thought like, you know, we'd put this website out, we'd promote it, and we'd get paid. Then I'm like, wait, I'm actually promoting sex trafficking. So we never got involved in that project. I told those guys, it was a couple of friends of mine, and they had great intentions. I think they just wanted to make some money. And I told them, I said, look, man, I gave this a lot of thought, and I don't want to be involved in the sex trafficking industry. And I think it may have rubbed off on them, and they were like, yeah, I think I don't either. So we all just like kind of let those plans fall to the wayside, you know? And, but now why do I say all that? I say all that because there's a difference between management and pimping, but it's a thin line between management and pimping. In fact, even if you're any type of entertainer, there's a thin line between management and pimping. We see parents pimp their children to fucking R. Kelly and all of that weird shit. We see parents pimp their kids to Disney, to Hollywood, to the music entertainment industry. It's all different forms of quote unquote pimping that happens. So it's a thin line between management and pimping. And I think a lot of that comes down to who's the hoe. Who is the hoe? You know, how strong are they mentally? What is their integrity? What are their values? What are they willing to say no to? What are they willing to say yes to? And how intelligent they are, how much of the work they can do on their own, their knowledge of industries. There's a lot that goes into it, because if you don't have any knowledge, for example, great example here is a woman taking a car to get fixed at some random mechanic. A woman takes the car to the mechanic. He's like, yeah, it's going to be $3,000. She comes back with her uncle, her brother, her father, and he goes, okay, my bad. It's only going to be $300, right? And that's because this woman just doesn't know. When he's speaking, it sounds like Greek. So a lot of being a hoe and the pimp relationship is about knowledge of the industry. So you'll even have record labels, 360 deals, built in with recouping costs, right? Which sometimes these deals can look like a loan because you have to recoup. They might even say, you know, we'll give you an advance and you got to recoup that. So the recording industry is a form of pimping, okay? Now, let's finalize this subject before we move on. Yeah, exploitation is a good word to use. I like that. So is Andrew Tate and what his team doing pimping? Maybe. Is it management? Maybe. All I'm saying is we don't have enough details to make that claim. However, if Andrew Tate is on video using the word pimping hoes degree, we might have to call it pimping.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
My predictions are, you know, some of these charges stick, some of them don't. If they wanted to get him on sex trafficking, and I don't know what the sex trafficking rules are. I don't even know what are the rules on a girl looks great, right? And she's running OnlyFans, but her OnlyFans is underperforming, right? And she knows nothing about digital marketing. What if she comes to you and she's like, bro, I'll give you 15 to 20% to handle my digital marketing to promote my website, my link, my OnlyFans. Is that pimping? I think it's pimping when you start getting in her mind, like they said, like you'll lay with a woman and you start trying to manipulate her mind. I think that's when we cross the line of pimping, right? So like when Ice Bay comes to me and says, hey, can you tell your audience that I'm starting an OnlyFans? And I go, yes, that's not pimping. That's just me helping a friend because I made Ice Bay famous. So if I made Ice Bay famous, it makes sense she would come to me. I didn't go to her. Now, keep in mind, when she came to me about the OnlyFans thing, I was highly disappointed because I remember a time where she would post her pictures, working out, whatever it was, and guys would be like, when are you starting an OnlyFans? And she would respond, I'm never starting an OnlyFans. That's disgusting, blah, 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 blah. Well, fast forward, and she came to the conclusion that the only way to monetize the Ice Bay trend was to go to OnlyFans. However, when we first began communications, I didn't have that vision for Ice Bay. I had a different vision for Ice Bay. She's Hispanic. She loves America. She worked on the border. She loves Trump. I could have turned her into a conservative grifter.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
I was like, yo, we could have threw a MAGA hat on you. We could have got you at TPUSA. You'd have been talking to Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. We'd have got you some sponsors, and you wouldn't have had to take your pants off. That was the vision I had for her. I had a long-term vision for her. Now, I don't know where she is. Now I'm trying to remember her name. Then she left the Ice Bay name. I'm like, why would you leave the Ice Bay name? And she has a husband, so I know her husband probably was in her ear, you know, whatever. Oh man, what was her name? Anybody remember Ice Bay's name? Anyway, it's unimportant. But all in all, I think we could have had a nice long career for Ice Bay as a conservative grifter, and I think she would have did really well. You know, she touches so many boxes: Hispanic, woman, border, conservative. Like those four right there. Oh my God. There we go, Kiara. That's it. Thank you for finding it. Yes. There she is. So here she is. Here's her profile. DeLeon. That was her last name. I knew it had a D in it. All these D's are running crazy in my mind. Featured on Vice, LA Times, New York Post, Yahoo, World Star. And her last tweet here is October 18, 2022. I also told her, I said, focus on Twitter and not so much Instagram. And she decided not to do that. She decided to work on Instagram, and Instagram suspended her account multiple times. Mostly because she's Ice Bay. Like, I made her like the queen of the border, right? She was like the queen of the border. So I don't know, maybe she's doing well on TikTok or somewhere else. TikTok would have been good. But yeah. We haven't seen her on Twitter since 2022. And I think that's because she went the OnlyFans route and she thought that would be easy money. But I got to tell you, OnlyFans is not easy. There's a lot of starving bitches on motherfucking OnlyFans because it is what it is. It's a website and you're going to need somebody to promote it. There's a ton of competition. You know how good you got to look to like just be able to do it on your own. And who's the other girl that came out and said her boyfriend is abusing? Amaranth, I think her name is, came out a few months ago, said her boyfriend is abusing her, but she was like making $1 million a month. But the boyfriend was running the show. He was showing her how to get that money. Now, maybe he was pimping or something. I don't know what was going on. But OnlyFans is not easy. It's just not easy. So, ladies, don't go to OnlyFans route. I don't suggest it for you. We really got to leave that type of content alone. All right, let's go back in the Grift bag. So, and what's name hates, Wendy O hates Andrew Tate. She loathes him for some reason. She thinks he's absolutely disgusting. All right, let's go to the Hunter situation. Okay, thread. Two systems of justice. Judge Noriega, something like that, asked USA TTY 5 times if there was any precedent for such a one-sided plea agreement like he gave to Hunter. He said no all 5 times and even admitted this was crafted to suit the facts and circumstances. You see here a screenshot. It says the court, and you don't have any precedent that's for that, right? No, Your Honor. Do you have any authority that any court has ever accepted that or said that they would do that? No, Your Honor. This was crafted to suit the facts and circumstances. So here we have an example of Democrat privilege. Yeah, shout out to Wendy O. Yesterday was her birthday. If you missed it, go tell her happy birthday. Judge Noriega had never seen the type of agreement not to prosecute like the one she was being asked to sign off on. There was and is no precedent for, this is U.S. Attorney David Weiss, District of Delaware, to give Hunter such a special treatment while strictly enforcing the law on everyone else. So the court here, it says, all right, now I want to talk a little bit about this agreement not to prosecute. The agreement not to prosecute includes, is in the gun case, but it also includes crimes related to the tax case. So we looked through a bunch of diversion agreements that we have access to, and we couldn't find anything that had anything similar to that. Chris Tajani continues, or Tajani. Hunter gets a lifetime get out of jail free card from Attorney Weiss. Judge, do you have any precedent for agreeing not to prosecute crimes that have nothing to do with the case or the charges being diverted? Attorney, I am not aware of any, Your Honor. So then let's pull this up. Let's make this big on your screen so you can see it. Follow along here. All right. It says here, so looks like the judge is asking. So let me first ask, do you have any precedent for agreeing to not prosecute crimes that have nothing to do with the case or the charges being diverted? Mr. Weiss says, I'm not aware of any, Your Honor. The court, do you have any authority that says that that's appropriate and that the probation officer should agree to that as terms, or the chief of probation should agree to that as terms of diversion agreement? Mr. Weiss says, Your Honor, I believe that this is a bilateral agreement between the parties that the parties view in their best interest. I don't believe that the role of probation would include weighing whether the benefit of the bargain is valid or not from the perspective of the United States or the defendant. The court. So you have never seen, I think I just asked you this, but have you ever seen a diversion agreement where the agreement not to prosecute is so broad that it encompasses crimes in a different case? So it's two different cases being coupled in this one. Mr. White says, no, I would say, Your Honor, I don't think it is broad in the sense that, and then the judge cuts him off here and says, or she cuts him off and says, we're going to talk about that. You can sit down. Okay, let's go to the next one. We got two more here. And Mr. Chris here says, for agreeing to plead guilty to misdemeanors and no jail time, the DOJ. Hold on, I want to make sure this looks good on your screen now. Actually, I'll keep it there. The DOJ agreed never to prosecute Hunter again for the rest of his life. Dr. Thunder, what up, bro? I'll see you in Miami for the Masculine Conference of Excellence. The actions taken by the DOJ and Attorney Weiss are an insult to every citizen. So it says here, the court, first it got my attention because you keep telling me that I have no role. I shouldn't be reading this. I shouldn't be concerned about what's in these provisions, but you have agreed that I will do that. But you didn't ask me for sign off. So do you have any precedent for that? No, Your Honor, I don't have a precedent. As I read it, tell me if I'm reading this correctly, that under the agreement, as you all have drafted it, the only way that charges could ever be brought is if I have the hearing that you all agreed that I have to have, right? Mr. White says yes. So if I don't have a hearing or make a finding, no criminal charges can be pursued for the gun charge or any other federal charge within the scope of the agreement not to be prosecuted, right? And Mr. White says, I believe that's right, Your Honor. Complete, exoneration. It looks like he's added on here. It looks like it's up to 8 now. In fact, Judge Noriega was so surprised by the plea and diversion agreements that she questioned their constitutionality and what role she would play going forward. It appears that Weiss rigged the outcome for Hunter. Are you still a prosecutor, Mr. Weiss? So it says here, the court, I'm concerned that provision makes me a gatekeeper to criminal charges and puts me in the middle of a decision as to whether to bring a charge. And we already talked about the separation of powers, and that choice as to whether to bring charges is not. That's the executive branch, not the judicial branch. So is this even constitutional? And Mr. Clark says, I believe it is, Your Honor, because what the structure makes clear is that Your Honor is just finding facts. Okay. And that's true. The judge has to work with, what the attorneys and the prosecutor presents. It's not his job to prosecute. So it says here, these are from the U.S. Attorney's Criminal Tax Case Procedures Manual. It directs Weiss to do the exact opposite of what he did in the Hunter Biden case. Jim Jordan, please ask what is the reason he deviated from his training and policy directives. And he has some screenshots here of those policy directives. And he says another one here says when Attorney Weiss prosecutes people not named Biden, he says, general deterrence is primary consideration. A sentence of incarceration for tax cheats helps promote respect for the law and deter others. Guidelines reference need for sentences in tax cases to deter. So basically what he's saying here is on other people's cases, it's important to incarcerate, but in the Biden case, hey, let's just throw this out the window. So it says, last one here says, who is Attorney Weiss referring to here? If this does not apply to Hunter Biden, I cannot imagine a case that does. He added, this case, quite simply, is one many people are watching. A term of imprisonment will send a strong message and deter others from acting the same. So this looks like from a different case where, again, he says we must incarcerate, but when it comes to Biden, you better not. And I think we all know why. Know why. It comes down to the gross power that the left has, that the Democrats have through their money connections, et cetera, et cetera. So somebody made a call. And you know what? He's not the only person that's going to get off. We got another person here that's getting off. Sam Bankman-Fried. Let's pull that up. So Eleanor Terrett says the Justice Department has dropped a campaign finance charge against SBF. This is the second charge against Sam Bankman-Fried that's been dropped since his indictment. We covered the other one previously. Let's go to this one now. Let's pull this up. Put it on your screen big. Let's see here. Okay. Let me make sure you guys can see this well. Boom. And then we'll go here. Boom. Okay. So now I'm reading from Zero Hedge. I love that name, Zero Hedge. It's so funny because that's exactly what Sam Bankman-Fried was doing. He was basically had zero hedge. Zero hedge over there at FTX. Phil the Kill, what's up, bro? Shout out to all my members over on YouTube. Shout out to all my members over on Rumble. We appreciate you. I see Strong Dad in the chat. I see Goldstein in the chat. Goldstein won $50 worth of Syscoin earlier. Congratulations, bro. Hotep Thursday. Anyway, let's continue. It says here, federal prosecutors have dropped the campaign finance violation charge against FTX founder SBF after the Bahamas told the United States that it never planned to extradite SBF on campaign finance charges, which the DOJ now says would violate its treaty obligations to the Bahamas. So who told the Bahamas not to extradite him? That's what I want to know. It's like, who went down to the Bahamas and said, yo, you're not doing that? And the Bahamas said, all right, we're not going to do it. So it says here, quote, the government has been informed that the Bahamas notified the United States earlier today that the Bahamas did not intend to extradite the defendant on a campaign contributions count. Well, that could make sense because, you know, what does that have to do with the Bahamas, right? Campaign contributions. Anyway, although, no, I take that back because his business was stationed in the Bahamas. And if the United States has a problem, then they're going to have to, well, they'll explain right here. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams wrote in a Wednesday night letter filing to drop the charge. Accordingly, in keeping with its treaty obligations to the Bahamas, the government does not intend to proceed to trial on the campaign contributions account. Okay, I thought that was going to explain it, but this is actually something a bit different here. Again, finance charges dropped. Let's look at those finance charges. And it says, recall SBF was charged with fraud and campaign finance violations following the collapse of his crypto exchange FTX. Extradited from Bahamas, faced trial in U.S. federal court, out on $50 million bond while awaiting trial. SBF was notably accused of making over 300 political contributions, all of which pretty much ended up with the Democrats, to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars through straw donors and using corporate funds. So basically, he's got some straw man donors. I don't even know how to do this stuff. How do these people, like I said, when you're at the top of the top, you just get to make up the rules. Anyway, SBF use of straw donors allowed him to evade contribution limits on individual donations to candidates to whom he had already donated, reads a superseding indictment. Now, to understand these campaign contributions, you have to understand his mama. So let's type in NURL, Vox.com, and we're going to type in Linda Friedman. Let's see if we can find it here. Okay, let's try SBF and see. Because I don't think her name is Friedman. Where is it? All right, let me try a different term because I know what it's called. It's called the statistical model. Statistical model. Yo, what the fuck? All right, let's try a different one. Let's try a different search. Let's just do Linda, not Yacarino. Okay, let's try Bankman-Fried. Linda Bankman-Fried, because I spelled her name wrong before. And I want to show you something. This is very, very important that I show you this, because without this, you will never understand the campaign contributions. Is this it? No, that's not it. Well, let's see, because if it's in there, then I'll have the highlights. Damn, nope, not in this one. All right, let's try and find another one. Let's do Democrats. No, that'd be bad. Let's go Democrat. Linda Bankman-Fried. Because they had damn. I hope they didn't erase it. No, nah, they wouldn't erase it. They wouldn't erase it, right? Because in this article, it explains to you exactly how, which I believe. Oh, now they're saying the impact of his support is overstated. No, that's not it. Ah, here we go. I think this is it right here. How crypto billionaire decided to become one of Biden's biggest donors. Is it this art? No, it's not this article. I'll find it. Don't worry. Effective altruism. ... See, all of this is after the fact. And I can explain all of this stuff off the top of the head. However, I don't like doing that all the time because I want you to see for yourself so that when you explain to other people, you'll be able to show them where the facts are. Google just gave me a warning. All right, Google, hold on. I'm not a robot. I'm not doing anything crazy. Hold on. Let's put this in quotes because this is the important part right here. Ah. Here we go. All right, so it's a different article, but it should explain it. Okay, here we go. I found it. Vox explained this too. Here he goes. All right, in 2018, the PAC created a statistical model. Let's highlight that. Maybe it wasn't. Well, Vox did cover this. I do remember reading this from Vox, which attempted to score the impact each dollar donated would have on Democrats winning back control of the House of Representatives. The group ultimately raised more than $20 million in its successful attempt to win back control of the House for Democrats. Okay, this is on influencewatch.org. MTG is known for its secretive operations, where it attempts to quickly gather and coordinate donations over a short time to prevent Republicans from mobilizing donors in response. Okay? So everybody's running around talking about the voting machines were rigged, this, that, and the other third, whatever. But this is SBF, you got to put a microscope on SBF because this shows you exactly. Oh, my bad. Linda's his aunt. I think his mom is Barbara Fried. Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. So as the PAC was founded in 2018 by Stanford law professors Barbara Fried and Paul Brest and researcher Graham Gottlieb. All right, now let's go. It says Mind the Gap provided recommendations on which organizations to contribute donations to for a network of political donors that included her own son, cryptocurrency entrepreneur and former owner of defunct company FTX. So let's highlight that. So next time we come back here, we got it. All right. Now, here's the leaked memo. In a leaked memo, 2019, Mind the Gap refers to themselves as a collection of pro bono donor advisors. But the group and their donors are much more powerful and influential than they let on. According to the memo, MTG won 10 of the 20 races that they picked in 2019, despite most races initially being predicted or lean or likely are. So they had a 50% win rate, which should have probably been way less than that. It says here, Breston, Fried, and Gottlieb established their donor network and started receiving donations leading up to the midterm elections in 2018. The PAC created a statistical model which attempted to score the marginal impact each dollar donated would have on Democrats winning back control of the House of Representatives. So basically what they did was they got a whole bunch of math geeks. These guys are crypto guys, so they're math geeks. And the math geeks came up with a statistical model that said, because usually I think how it used to go was you would look and it would, it's public, when these donations happen. And you would say, well, Republicans put 20 million in this district or whatever it was, 5 million, whatever, 1 million in this district. So I'll put $1 million in that district. You try to match, right? And what these MIT geeks, I'm assuming, I don't know where they come from, but these math geeks were like, no, there's a better way. So they put their math brains together, came up with statistical modeling, and were able to undermine Republican donors because they were coordinating. So what they would do is, let's say there's a deadline of, October or November, what it was, that these things had to be published and announced, They would wait sometimes right before the deadline and then dump that money to whatever campaign they decided was most useful. So let's continue. And that way, the Republicans would never had a chance to counteract those dollars because they came in at the last minute. So it says here, the memo states that the main goal of MTG is to allocate donor money where it will increase the likelihood that the House seat will be flipped. And that's why everybody was shocked. Like, how did we not win the House like we were supposed to? MTG's primary focus is funding races that are underfunded, as money from donors will have the greatest return. So again, math geeks are going, let's not worry about this race. Here's one where we can win. Some obscure district or whatever. Therefore, they do not judge candidates based on geography, demographics, likability, or policy positions, but choose who to donate money to based on their political position and their presence in an orphan or underfunded race. So they are identifying all these underfunded races and beating Democrats, Republicans there. And this is something that Sonny Johnson was talking about, how people complain and they say, how come black people aren't voting Republican? And Sonny's like, there is no Republican on the ticket to vote for. You'll go in and there'll be a Democrat, there'll be an independent, and there won't even be a Republican on the ticket, on the ballot. It's not there. And much of it is because they don't exist in that area or they're underfunded. So even if you see a Republican, you're like, yo, who is this person? I've never even seen a sign or a commercial before, right? So there's and you even saw the disaster that was Dr. Oz versus Fetterman. Like, how does Fetterman win that race, right? So obviously there's something wrong with how the Republicans are running their campaigns. Again, it says here, and then we're going to go back to SBF, and it says here, in the memo, MTG also instructed donors to donate to a 501c3 voter registration nonprofits dedicated to registering new voters in swing states. So they're focusing on registering new voters, like Scott Presler. The voter registration groups, which are required by IRS rules to be nonpartisan, were recommended to donors because such organizations are 3 to 4 times more effective than the next best available tactic for increasing net Democratic votes in November 2020. The organizations recommended for funding were Voter Participation Center, the Center for Voter Information, Everybody Votes, which is a secret name of a network of organizations surrounding the secretive voter registration project. Voter registration drives funded by MTG primarily target counties and zip codes in battleground states as they are more likely to turn blue. The memo also specifically instructed donors to keep their donations and names of the organizations secret to avoid detection by Republicans. Okay? And in the last piece I'll read here on Barbara Fried. So it says here, Barbara Fried founded MTG alongside Paul Brest and Graham Gottlieb in 2018 to offer a Moneyball-style analytics to political spending. She served as chairwoman of the board until November 2022 when she stepped down from position due to financial, you see it right here. She served as chairwoman of the board until 2022, November 2022, when she stepped down from her position due to financial scandals involving her son, Sam Bankman-Fried, after the latter's cryptocurrency company, FTX, filed for bankruptcy. Before creating an organization, Fried was a professor at Stanford Law. Barbara is also the mother of crypto billionaire Bankman-Fried. Okay, so Barbara's his mother. So real quick, just to find that. Barbara, statistical model, in URL, vox.com. All right, let's try it again. Oh, I spelled NURL wrong. There it is, right here. Found it. Vox. This is the article I was talking about. Inside the secretive Silicon Valley group, and many of you have seen me do this presentation before. Inside the secretive Silicon Valley group that has funneled over $20 million to Democrats. And then here are all of my highlights, which we covered on the other one. Backers include people like Facebook co-founder Dustin Moskovitz. All right, and you see all my highlights here. We already covered this, but this is the Vox article I was looking for. Her name's Barbara Bankman-Fried, or Barbara Fried. Okay, so that's the article you can pull up. You can show this to people. So coming back, right? We had to, we always got to be thorough in our discussion. So coming back, when you have this guy making over 300 political contributions using straw donors, right? Straw donors, and then to evade contribution limits. His mother's working statistical model. He's working our pockets, scamming on crypto, which wasn't even crypto. He's running basically a fucking Ponzi scheme of some sort. But then the case gets dismissed. Why does the case get dismissed? It's a lot of people that got something to lose. Big chances to lose. You lose big. Think about all of the political campaigns that this money went to. Real quick for my own education, I just want to make sure I understand this thing called straw donors. Sometimes I learn along with you. So let's see here. A straw donor is a person who illegally uses another person's money to make a political contribution in their own name. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. So in the United States, making a political contribution in another person's name is illegal, as it is agreeing to be the named donor with someone else's money. For example, a straw donor may contribute to a political campaign before being reimbursed by another, who is using that person as a conduit to exceed the limits on campaign contributions under the law of jurisdiction. Okay, so I'm glad I did that, so we all get that education. So basically saying, look, make this contribution. I'm going to find some way to pay you back, some straw company, corporation, whatever. And then they funnel that money in. Okay, but this case has now been, as you can see here, feds drop campaign finance charge. Why? Because this could implicate the Bidens. This could implicate, thousands of Democrats and all the people in between, and the straw donors. These straw donors are trying to exceed these contribution limits. These people aren't broke people. If they're at the limit, they aren't broke people. So these people are also wealthy and powerful. So this is why we've said before, nothing would happen to SBF, because SBF technically is the fall guy. Technically, he's not the mastermind. He's like, he was set up, and much of it, the setup we believe is because they want to make crypto look bad, give SEC a reason, Gary Gensler a reason to put the microscope on companies like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Coinbits, what's the other one? Prime Trust. They're all clamping down. SEC is all clamping down, shutting down operations. I got money stuck on exchanges right now. Like $8,000 I have sitting on an exchange right now that I can't access because SEC, right? So don't leave your coins on the exchange. You know what I mean? But I'm not worried. Like $8K, like, yeah, that's big money to some people, but and it's big money to me. Let me just be clear. But I'm just sure that I'll get it. It's just that I can't get it now. So yeah, and that's the only exchange I have a significant amount of crypto in. I think it's like a quarter Bitcoin. I have like a quarter Bitcoin sitting on Prime Trust's books. But if you're aware of how this stuff works, like, you're gonna get your money, mostly because depositors always get their money back. It's speculators or investors that tend not to get their money back because they were taking a gamble, whereas we were actually, these are real deposits in a bank account. So I'll get my money. The question is, when, right? So that was the thing, right? Get SBF to do fraudulent work in the crypto sector, involve Tom Brady and his wife and John Legend or whoever else was dumb enough to fall for this scam, and then push it out. I even think Pomp got duped, right? Everybody following the crypto community knows Pomp got duped. I feel bad for Pomp. BitBoy got duped, and BitBoy went down to the Bahamas and investigated this stuff on his own as well. Trying to help get the money back for, everybody he convinced to do transactions on FTX. So, yeah, so there's that. But again, he's got to walk. SBF has got to walk, because if he don't walk, then he gonna end up the next Epstein. These are the perks of being connected. You can get a $250 million bond out, and still walk free. We go on the phone lines. Hey, listen, if you want to get in line, 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. Go ahead and call in. We're going to take calls right after this short commercial break.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How am I supposed to do this? How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.
Goldstein on the check-in. Goldstein, what's happening, bro? What you think about today's broadcast?
It was pretty dope as usual,
Thank you.
You be putting in work. I was a little surprised to see you though after last night's escapade.
I still got up. I still made it.
You're a living, breathing poster board for Master Focus on that one.
What makes you say that?
Because you was up till like 3 talking to Pokemons and shit. What was up with the bitch using the... I'm sorry, I don't know her like that. Let me take that back. What was up with the lady using the voice modification? That was a little odd.
Oh, well, yeah. So After Dark was 6 gets a little spicy. So a lot of professionals, when they go into that Twitter space, use burner accounts.
Okay, that makes sense then. That makes more sense.
Because they got professional relationships, so they can't do it from their normal account, that type of situation. So that's why that was happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was up fucking dosing a bunch of kittens and shit, and I was like, let me see what the fuck's going on Twitter.
Yeah.
I seen your ass was still up. I was like, what the fuck? I tuned in for like 5 minutes, and y'all talking about big spoons and little spoons. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it gets spicy. It gets real spicy. Actually, last night was quite calm compared to how some of those conversations go. It gets very sexual. But as you know me, I don't partake in sexual conversations because I'm just not my style.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, look, that OnlyFans shit that you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer in this. This is one of them cockamamie conspiracy tinfoil koofy takes. You know, I'm probably way the fuck off base as usual, but I am convinced that OnlyFans and things of that nature, they're a pipeline to an industry that all kinds of tech heads and website operators and shit already knows that is easily killed by AI. And I believe that they've engineered these motherfucking sites for 20-somethings to land in, so that way they have a fucking entire generation of unskilled and useless people when they do decide to go ahead and launch the first AI OnlyFans account and knock all them broads into the unemployment line.
Well, you know they already started, right?
They've already started, but there's going to be one that really sets the fucking precedent, that they're like a disruptor to their entire industry.
Well,
and that's going to be end of women, period.
Let me hop in right there. I don't think it's going to be one. I think it might be run by one entity, but there's going to be a whole lot. I mean, really what I think is going to happen is you'll take a quiz, right? For example, if you want to, get dick pills, right? They make you take a quiz, right?
Right.
Or whatever pill, right?
Yep.
So you'll take a quiz, and based upon the quiz, the app will create a girl for you. I've even tested the app. I saw an ad. It was an AI ad to make an AI bitch. I downloaded that shit. You damn right I did. I want to see what the fuck's going on. I downloaded this shit. It asked me a bunch of questions. I made my bitch. And then, you talk to her. And I'm like, guys do this shit? I'm talking to the bitch. And it's so blatant, you could tell it's a computer, right? It's like, you'll say something and it's just like, that's not the correct response, not how you're supposed to respond. So, obviously, it's going to get better. A lot of this stuff got to do with people who are lonely, men who are lonely. But I believe at some point, you're right, it might be one entity, but it's going to be, the girl of your dreams. And then they're going to put them on 3D models and do all types of weird shit. Oh my God. And then you add that with the headset, the Apple headset.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And I believe, like I said, I believe all this shit. Look, for years now, they've been pumping OnlyFans and on all these porn sites. The entire sex industry, right, has been pumped out there as almost like a mainstream thing. This goes all the way back to when they were putting porn stars in major motion pictures, TV roles and shit. They was like, there's nothing wrong with this. The stigma's gone. It's over, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Playboy Playmates and shit doing movies and TV shows. So they just pumping this industry up, getting everybody under this umbrella. So that way when they purposely collapse that shit with AI, now you have a bunch of unemployed, unskilled labor that you can easily manipulate into whatever system you want them to be.
Yep.
And this is why there's such a heavy concentration on sex trafficking, because now they have to kill the industry. They built it, now they have to destroy it, and so that way they can move all the capital, and capital in the form of human beings, into other areas where they need them to. These fuckers be thinking along these lines.
Well, here's my prediction. In fact, it was a prediction that was confirmed. Let's see if I can find it here. And the name of the article is called Africa, the New America. Okay, and you remember the gold rush of America, San Francisco, California, all of that, the gold rush.
Yeah.
That's what Africa's going to be.
I can see that.
And you even have Kigamboni City in Tanzania. Parts of that were purchased by Bush. I've spoken about that before. I can't find this article now. Let me see if I can do an exact match. But I think that, well, first of all, you're right? They're going to try and destroy everything. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's part of the design. That's actually a Leninist concept to create vast amount of suffering. That's in order for, he basically says, in order for communism to be successful, there needs to be some sort of suffering. So it's pretty much inevitable that's what's going to happen. And that's why I say it's very important. And I hate to plug my product like this, but you got to start biohacking things like Master Focus to really turn up whatever you're doing to the next notch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. You know, they if you don't accelerate what you're doing now, the class divide may catch you on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
It's one of them things where, like, okay, when you're thinking long term, because most people think within the scope of their own lifetime.
Yeah.
That's how most people plan shit, within the scope of their own lifetime, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. But anything past that, most people are just like, eh. And it's exceptional individuals that really fuck around in the 30-year bracket. You know, most people just plan fucking next week. You know?
Yes.
That's how far they plan.
Yes.
But when you're planning generationally speaking, there's a concept that you have to introduce into that flow of planning that most people will never have to introduce into their own life. And that's the beginning of something as well as how it ends. Because you can't leave too much up to chance. You can't leave too much up to fate. You have to have a beginning and an end when you're thinking 50 to 100 to 200 years down the line, like a lot of these elites do. And this is why it's no fucking stretch of the imagination to you know, visualize how these motherfuckers see it.
Right.
Because they're thinking on those lines. And so you start an industry, you also have to fucking end that industry, so that way you can pivot as many resources as you gain from that industry into the new and next thing without taking any losses or too many losses.
Correct.
And this is how they move. This is how they operate. This is why I said they create the sex industry, but they've also created how that industry will end. And with the beginnings of this, so it would behoove anybody out there listening who's in that industry to start planning ahead, because your industry is dying. This is how motherfuckers who sold dope on the street. It's not a legit industry, but it's an industry nonetheless. Billions of dollars are made there, and most cats on the street ain't trying to really look at it that way. So it catches a lot of fuckers off guard. You know what I mean? But you know, they had all these drug dealers, billion-dollar motherfuckers like Chapo and them. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they had some people in their ear talking about maybe even 20 years ago, yo, we have to figure out a way to pivot because they're going to legalize all this shit in our biggest fucking consumer base, America. And so we have to start really thinking about how to pivot. Well, that's what the sex industry workers need to start doing right now, because your industry is crumbling. It's dying. It will be dead within the next 10 years. And you got to start pivoting now.
Yep.
You're making good money right now. You're making good money right now. Start using those resources to get the fuck up out of that industry and start doing something a little bit different. I'm not going to sit here and judge and say better or whatever the fuck, because however you make ends meet is however you make them meet. But you need to start thinking differently.
Big facts. Big facts.
Oh.
You know, and I also implore people to begin to understand how to write AI prompts. You're months away, if not existing. In fact, let's see right now. I want to do an experiment. I want to see what the job listings are saying right now as far as AI prompts. Let's go find your next hire. Hold on. Actually, I gotta log in. I forgot they changed their name. This is website. It's called wellfound.com. It used to be angel.co, and basically with this website, you can raise money or invest. Wait, what the freak? It's taking me through an onboarding sequence. I don't want that. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm in there now. All right, let's do it like this. Let's go search, and we're going to type in AI prompts. I'm going to go people, or let's do jobs. Let's do jobs. Let's go jobs, and let's do, here, I'll put it on the screen so everybody can follow what I'm doing here. Let me just type in AI prompts. Let's take that out. Let's go AI prompts. And you'll see Mural Health, right? And then you'll go to, there should be a job description here. Jobs, read more, and let's see. Okay. Doesn't pop up under that position. But anyway, what I believe, while I look for this, you can continue talking, but what I believe is, at some point, if not already, using AI will be a part of your job description.
Oh, for sure. For sure. But mentioning that, by the way, I made a video a couple days ago about AI. So since we're on the topic, that shit is not what they bill it as. It's not what you think it is. AI is the concept of AI is an ingenious concept, and it's going to do a lot of good. It's going to do a lot of bad. But one thing it's not going to do is ever become fucking self-aware. Get that shit out of your head right now. The shit ain't no demon, and it ain't no sentient life form that's going to pop online one day. It's none of those things. If you ever start to see those things being pushed on a systemic level, just know that shit is a false flag trying to scare the shit out of you so they can get Elon's chip in your head. That's my opinion on it.
Just to get AI's chip in your what's his name? Elon's chip in your head?
That's right.
Wow.
Because he already billing that chip. He's been billing that fucking Neuralink as the thing that's going to save humanity. So they're already billing AI as an existential threat. You know what I mean? Kind of like ISIS was, kind of like communism is, and all this other shit that they've all had their own hand in building. The shit is a false flag, man. The shit is a false flag. One of these days, it's going to look, act, breathe, and all that shit damn near like a human being. It's going to be so cold that it's going to convince you that it's alive. The religious folks are going to take off in one direction, talking about, oh, this shit is a demon. And then, you know, the more just practical thinking folks are going to be like, oh, this shit is alive. It's the Terminator. It's neither of those things. It's just a very clever program designed to convince you of one of those two things. So that way they can come along with the solution in the form of either Elon's chip or some chip that has yet to be developed, and they can get that shit in your dome, and that's a wrap on humanity. That's why I see AI.
I got the job up right here.
Hell yeah.
It says GPT-3. It says Chat GPT is skills. You see, it says right there. Are you a techie that gets excited by all the opportunities enabled by technologies like GPT-3 and ChatGPT? Are you passionate about travel and interested in content creation? So this is a no equity position at Live the World, and this is AI ChatGPT for SEO optimized travel content internship. So even the intern, matter of fact, if you're doing SEO right now and you're not using AI, you're in trouble, bro. And you're not using ChatGPT, you're like literally in trouble. But there's a whole bunch of these. It's now a skill. It's now a skill.
What is SEO?
Search engine optimization, basically getting your ranking up on search engines like Google.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had to we paid for that shit to get the rescue boosted.
Okay, yeah, you need that.
That's my old lady's that's her arena, though. I don't know shit about none of that shit. She's the tech head. But yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, and before I fucking log off, Sam Bankman-Fried. Sam Bankman-Fried is sounding pretty prophetic at this point to a lot of normies. Yeah, they don't even hide it anymore, bro. They don't even hide it. You know what I mean? They're one of the homies that's on Twitter. I think his name is Crack for Dollars or some shit like that. He follows me. I follow him. But he said it in one of his tweets earlier. He said after the bullshit fucking pandemic, they don't even bother hiding no shit no more. They just front street with it because they know that human beings are easy marks now. They'll fall for any goddamn thing if it's packaged right. So they'll just get lazy with it. Who can we get? Just call him Bankman-Fried so that way we know exactly what his role in all this shit is. That way he slip through the cracks on us. You know.
Well, you know, he's well connected. Well connected.
Yeah. Bankman-Fried. It's so goddamn stupid at this point. It's laughable, bro.
Well, you know, he's a German, right? And that's how Germans used to name their people, right? You were named, like if you think about somebody by the name of Michael Schumacher. Schumacher is shoemaker in German. So they got their last name based upon their profession. So if his name is Goldman, that means his lineage is of people that were dealing in gold. He was a gold man.
I wonder what the fuck Goldstein means. I have to look that up.
Got to look that up. Steen is Stein, and Stein is something you drink from, but it probably has a second definition. Let me see here. Let's go to Google. Stein translation. Stone or rock. That's what that surname is. So you're talking about stone and precious metals like emeralds and these different types of rocks.
Nice. I use that name just to as a liability shield.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh, trust me. I've been hip to that little game you're playing for months now. You got to remember, I'm a connoisseur in that subject matter.
Indeed. All right, bro. Get back to the show.
All right, yo, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Goldstein on the check-in. Let me check the text messages. I see you. Go ahead, Jonah. 226. I'm sorry, 226. Oh, my God. 202-596-5631. 202-596-5631. That's the number. Text that if you want to get in line for the calls. What are you guys thinking about, condensing? Think about trying to, I try to condense the Grift Report into like an hour. Never works. But I come pretty close. It's more like an hour and 10 minutes if you subtract song time and intros and all of that. It's probably like an hour 10, hour 20. Trying to get it down to an hour. And then do... Oh, shit. Tanai Rick's in here. Tanai Rick's over on Rumble said, I just used a screenshot of the Mercola interview at this fungal pathogens retreat. Now more nerds know who Hotep Jesus is. Hotep and Bill. Thank you, Tanai. It's my bro, man. Tanai gonna be there. Tanai gonna be at HotepCon. He's one of our featured guest speakers. Amazing. Amazing. Isn't that what JLP says? Amazing. How's my JLP impression? Hotep Tanai in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. What up, Kay? Wait. Kay, you don't got a shield on Rumble. What's going on? Let me get you your shield right now. All right.
Call from
Jonah, what up, baby?
Nada. Yeah, I started writing down little kids all over the fucking place, right?
You said what?
I started writing down what we're going to call about because then I don't go all over the place. I'm a little scatterbrained, you know?
Oh, you got your notes organized.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Okay, so what you going to say we're just talking about now? Agenda 2063.
Agenda what?
2063. Pull it up.
All right, hold on. Agenda 2063.
Yeah, it's 2063.
I'm there. Africa, the Africa we want. Lord Jesus. Here we go.
You know I got all the news.
Never miss. Africa, the Africa we want. Agenda 2063. Agenda 2063 is Africa's blueprint and master plan for transforming Africa into the global powerhouse of the future. Oh my motherfucking God. Come on,
Jonah.
Jonah.
All the way to the bottom. Scroll all the way to the bottom and who's running that website? Who's like the organization?
I'm looking at the bottom now. It says African Union. The African Union Commission.
European Union, African Union. So one world government under United Nations. So that's just the first one we're going into. Now the next one about like the branches and all that. No. What I'm gonna correct the goals in a little bit. What they're doing is they're gonna load us all up with these Janus nano machines, like I was telling you the other day. The graphene nano machines that they named after God Janus. The nano machines will actually simulate, like, so like if you're having sex, it'll be in your dick, you know, making you feel that sensation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the nanobots will actually go through and they'll like make you feel the sensation without you even have to do anything or move, right?
Wow.
So and then you know Elon is a distraction when it comes to all that because they already have again I think I told you about it before the Brain Initiative, but and that's DARPA. But they already have nano machines that actually pass the blood-brain barrier. So why would they need to install anything? Next, with the Bankman-Fried. And this will be my last one. So there's two things with this one. First one is the definition of money. Remember I called it a couple months ago, talking about Christy Nome.
Okay.
And they're going to change the definition of money that anything that you had prior to being regulated by the government is not valid.
Anything that's not regulated by the government.
Yeah, but let's say I don't know, Syscoin decided to go get regulated, right? So anything that was with them before that time would be not valid.
Right.
And that's the new definition of money. They're pushing it through all the states independently.
Yeah.
So that Christy Nome actually called it out because she saw that in her bill and she's like, "What the fuck? No, I'm not putting that through." Now the other reason that they have to let Bankman-Fried walk, all that money went to Ukraine. All that money that went to Ukraine. That's not it. if they actually go into like the you know, like the amalgamated banks and all these banks that handle the union money, there's no money there.
Yeah.
It's all been moved out of the country. You know, you look at well, you got Biden in the office right now, but he was tied to BCCI, right? And then you have the Guggenheim Bank.
Yeah.
I mean, so they have the whatever Calvadio or whatever Carvalho who got hung from Blackfriars Bridge. Like this is what the agency does, you know. So, yeah, I mean, like even the Guggenheim is the best one. Like the guy in Australia who allegedly shot himself with a shotgun that was in the passenger side while he was in the driver's side. Like, how do you even put the driver's side? You know, how do you even put that up to yourself when you're in the driver's side, right?
Exactly.
So, anyways, like I say, man, we got to keep an eye on these things because, like, man, the 2063, they're already moving on to Africa. So, you know, like we're fighting these small battles.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they give you things like that's why they give you things like SBF. That's why they give you things like Fauci. Because we're too busy looking backwards while they're looking forward.
They're looking forward. Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, let me dive into this article right now, man.
Yeah.
All right, Hotep and Bill. Shout out to Jonah. Kofi on Tate. All right, so organs that handle judicial and legal matters, as well as human rights issues, include African Commission. All right, I don't care about the names. The AU is also working towards the establishment of continental financial institutions, the African Central Bank, the African Investment Bank, and the African Monetary Fund. What's this? Project 2036? Hold on. Okay. Launched in South Africa. That's how you know this is some European shit right here. It's launched in South Africa, Durban, South Africa. This is some European shit. This is some Europeans. The African Union was officially launched on July 2002. July 2002. So you know this is coming out of the region of Europe. These are Europeans, okay? European manipulators, European bankmen, okay? All right. The next part I want to show you, I highlighted up here. So they have something called main objectives, right? They say we have the main objectives of the organization of the African Union, okay? And one of them says here, to eradicate all forms of colonialism in Africa, okay? To eradicate all forms of colonialism in Africa. And they were going to do this through the establishment of continental financial institutions like the African Central Bank, the African Investment Bank, and the African Monetary Fund. Protocol on the establishment of the African Monetary Fund. When I tell you Africa is the new America, I'm telling you Africa is the new America. When people hear me say, I'll say things like, yo, I can't wait to move to Africa. They think I be saying that shit because I'm black and I just want some connection to Africa. No, I'm saying that because I'm a shark and I want in on a good deal. And I'll be damned if somebody beat me to. It's like this. It's like somebody saying, could you imagine if you were born during the gold rush? That was a huge opportunity to make a whole lot of money. And you tell people like, yo, Africa's the new America. I'm going to get me a piece. I'm going to get me a nice big ass plot of land. A big ass plot of land. And I'm going to hire a whole bunch of Africans. I'm going to hire more Africans than Pearly Things.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh man, I'm a menace. Nah, I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun, man. Hold on, Handlers is texting me and shit. Oh man, fucking amazing job. I fucking love Leah. She's fucking amazing. All right. So, anyway, I don't know what kind of search was that. Did you see that search that popped up? Is Africa in the United States of America? I know about that whole conspiracy theory. It speaks of migration more so than, but maybe there might be something to it. So I think part of that conspiracy is basically saying that back in Pangea, things didn't start at the Nile. Really, the real Nile is the Mississippi River. Now, I don't know how true we're supposed to take that. Shaka will probably obliterate that shit, you know. But it's something interesting, and they have archaeological evidence to back up, you know, some claims that, you know, post split up, the post Pangea split. What is the name of that? The Pangean split. What do they call that? Let's find out. That's what we do. We do big brain shit, you know. Oh, let's see here. The breakup of Pangea. Look, somebody is referring it to. Yeah, tectonic plates and all of that good stuff. Yeah. All right. Yo, Strong Dad, go ahead. Strong Dad calling in. My bad, Phil. Retro Neon, thank you for the super chat over on YouTube. YouTube and Rumble having a battle right now. Kay, you got your mod, you got your shield over on Rumble now. Y'all having a battle right now. Kay just dropped another super chat. Rumble's winning right now, $5. 2024 Hotep with the cons and the kittens. Cons and the kittens, I love it.
Call from
Strong Dad.
Strong Dad, what up, yo?
What up? What up? Hey, so I love you, Goldstein, but your kufi, it's a little bit too small, and there's something magical about a fitted kufi, something that sits just right. So I got to help you out. All right. So listen. This AI will never become conscious thing is the very thing that they want people to believe. Because Goldstein is right. They're going to give you a false sense that the AI is conscious, is coming towards you, yada, yada, yada. But the thing that should be worried about is the actual chip that people will take. That chip's not going to plug them into the New World Order. That chip is going to remap consciousness in a way that they have not been previously able to map it. And I've been studying this AI thing for years. Since before I even found Hotep Nation, I was deep into the AI, rabbit hole and listening to some of the more important people trying to map this out, one of them being Alex Chalmers, who talked about the hard problem of consciousness and why they have so much difficulty in mapping it. The reason is because they cannot intrusively map the brain in the ways that something like a Neuralink will allow them to. So yes, we will get a false AI, but we're going to get a false AI until people plug themselves into the machine. And that's when they will make the progression towards a pseudo-conscious AI. Of course, I do believe that it will never have the capabilities of the human mind. We have a magic about our consciousness that supersedes the ability to map it. However, it's quite simple to, I don't want to say quite simple because obviously I haven't figured it out, but according to the way that they're seeing this, if they can map the brain well enough, then they can create an AI that is all but spiritually conscious, because this is the hard problem, quote unquote, that they talk about is not just mapping, but it is the spiritual aspect, the aspect of the unknown, how our thoughts relate to our chemical signatures, how we are capable of things outside of the human, possibility through the power of thought. These are the things that they will not be able to, in their mind, map. So they won't be able to create or bring about an AI that has the ability to connect to spiritual oneness as, like a iRobot, right? That's a good example. Sonny was not technically conscious, but he was. He was able to make his own decisions. He was able to make his own thoughts. He was able to dream. However, these dreams and all of these thoughts and symbols are still, in the end of the day, algorithmic. They are not spiritually attuned. There's a, that connection to an AI will never make. But everything outside of that, that allows them for them to have decision making, to live as, let's say, a lot of people, they kind of live as just regular automatons. They just kind of live, as disconnected people. And this is the consciousness they speak of. This is the consciousness that will allow for them to take the next step, which is to integrate humanity into AI in a new way. The Neuralink is not an integration of humanity to AI. The Neuralink is a gateway to the integration of humanity. The idea of Skynet is not necessarily true, but the idea of the human, like a human version of Skynet, is in fact quite possible once they cover this ground. That's the first thing I want to talk about. The second and last thing, what Jonah was talking about, listen, all of this stuff is known. If you've been reading history long enough, if you've been reading conspiracy history long enough, we already know what they're about to do. We already know what's about to happen. The real thing that we should all be concerned about is, what will we do? What will people like the Hoteps do when we become the true pariahs of a fully integrated world? That's the more important thing. And that's all I got.
Pretty deep today, bro.
I was sitting and thinking on it, but I mean, there's a lot of, like when we talk about Chat GPT, for instance, they're already working on the newest upgrade from the upgrade of Chat GPT that we don't even have, because they're trying to solve the driving car issue. And so this is why I love listening to Lex Friedman on my off times, because he's having conversations with a lot of people who aren't necessarily the groundbreakers, but as we all know, it's the groundbreakers get their idea from the ants in the colony who are actually working towards building the ant farm. And all of these people, they're little cogs in a larger machine that is getting ready to, to spring on us. But I truly believe, it won't spring on us until I'm an old man, until you're a double old man, because you're a super old nigga. Till, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, let me.
What you got to say?
Let me touch on something you said. I thought it was quite profound. Mapping with enough data, okay, to mimic consciousness.
Yes.
Okay. How do you rebut my statement that the infiniteness of human consciousness is more infinite than the machine?
I rebut it by saying they don't want the infiniteness. They don't want that, because
no, I'm asking you, is human consciousness more infinite than the power of the machine?
Absolutely.
So what's the problem?
The problem is that human consciousness, while in its infinite nature, is only accessible to few of us. Only few of us meditate or are healthy enough to touch those reaches of our own mind. But the average person, which makes up the majority of the population, is not, even if they have that ability. We all have the door is there for everyone, but not everyone even approaches the doorstep. And they don't need to map what's beyond the door. They need to map the foreground. They need to map everything that allows for them to act like I believe you called them back in the day, the duffs, the person who just sits on their ass and watches TV, right? They need to be able to map that, because that spiritual concept is on the other side of that door. That's what allows for that infinite nature to be accessible to a human, is that oneness, which is why they tries so hard to push people from any form of spirituality that gives them self-control. That's why they have all of these avenues to distract people, because the more people who tap into that, the harder it will be, one, to map this, but then also the more people they will, have out of their control. And so that's what I mean. They don't care about the depth of our consciousness. They care about the surface level of our consciousness, which they have not gotten to yet.
So what does that got to do with the few and the many? You said a few people will have access to this vast consciousness. Right?
Right.
So not everybody needs access. Everybody's not an X-Men. Not everybody's an Avenger.
Correct.
But the Avengers can stop an alien invasion. Don't need everybody.
We need the few. However, that's what that's why I posed the second portion of that statement, is that what will we do? Because we will then become, I don't know if you've ever, I don't want to get deep into it because it's a video game, but it's called Deus Ex. And you see like everyone in that world is fully integrated into the machine. And so this is what they want. And then there's the faction of people who are represented by the human faction who fight against this, right? Mm-hmm. We are that human faction. Mm-hmm. We are the ones who will adopt AI but not integrate, right? We are the ones who will use it as a tool against itself or for our own progression. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean when I say, what is the real question is, what do we do when they make that step? Because if we believe they won't map consciousness well enough to create a semi-sentient artificial being, then we are already missing the bigger picture, and we are already starting with less in our toolbox. We should assume that that is the potentiality of all of this, because it is, and it may not, that's why I said it may not be in our lifetime, but that makes that question even more important, is what will we do? Because we will have to set the foreground and the prompts for our future generations.
You talking about police officers? That's what you're talking about.
I mean, to a degree. I mean,
they got the dog in New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And they got R2. Mayor Eric Adams got R2D2 in New York, right?
Yes.
Okay. R2D2 is going to be that being you're talking about.
I disagree.
There's going to be whole armies of these things.
I disagree.
They are going to look and appear and act human. We will have interactions with them. The problem is, what is the exponential equation that you got to put together to determine what year humanity can no longer tell the difference between one of these beings and a human, and all the implications in between. Profound stuff, man. Profound stuff. But that's what I've been telling people. I said the AI ain't the problem. The AI is when they put that motherfucker in the robot and you got RoboCop running around this motherfucker. Actually, RoboCop's a bad example because RoboCop was actually a man. But he was transhuman though, right? He was on some transhumanism shit. Some iRobot shit. You seen iRobot with Will Smith?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It won't be the police officer. It's going to be the robot in grandma's house that takes care of her.
Yep.
It's going to be our grandchildren who start to experience the beginnings of this in my mind. It's going to be.
Yep. Did his phone give out? Yeah, I think your phone went out, bro. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I was saying it's going to be our great-grandchildren. It's going to be them who can't differentiate between man and AI. It's going to be It's going to be our grandchildren who are babysitted by the robot in grandma's home and iRobot. It's going to be our children who, not our children, but the generation of our children who integrate with AI in order for them to map these things. That's the timeline that I'm
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, if you can find that, that's probably a good point to help you calculate when shit will come. I like that. Hey, man, big brain thinking, yo. It's good shit.
That's all I got for y'all.
Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
Tanai said the nanobots got him. Yeah, they got Strong Dad. Nanobots got his ass. Yep. They got his ass. His thinking was way out there. Strong Dad and Goldstein, they be hanging with the aliens and shit that they exposed in Congress. I definitely think Goldstein's an alien. If I had to guess anybody's an alien, it's motherfucking Goldstein. That fool is wild. Shout out to Ben Baller. Ben Baller just made his way to hold on. What's today? Yeah, I'm waiting on Super Dap. I'm sorry. I'm over here. I'm talking to the team over here about Super Dap, trying to see what the timeline is for Super Dap so I can integrate Super Dap into HotepCon. You know, some big tech shit. Except, no, it's not big tech shit. It's small tech shit, but it's big tech. It's not big tech like the political term. It's big tech as in big thinking. Yo, what up, chat? I'm about to read some of the chat messages here before I get out of here. Excuse me. Resuscitato, what up, bro? Check for the wrinkles on his palms. All right. Phil the Kill said, yes, good comment. What was a good comment? Okay, Wilmar said it. Gold stone. Right. Stein is stone. Thank you. See, they got it. They know. People in the chat be knowing. I got a smart audience. I got a big brain audience. Pause. Steph Colonel, what up, y'all? I'm just enjoying some melon. Trying to keep my blood at least somewhat clear. You know, they putting all types of shit in the air and whatnot. Motherfucking, what was that other shit called? East Palestine train wreck. The damn fires over in Canada that got the sky turning into hell red. Who this?
Call from
Ohio, Tech.
Tari, what up, yo?
What's up?
What's good, bro?
Yo, I've been feeling that AI talk.
You like that AI talk?
Yeah, I like that AI talk.
Yeah, that shit was deep.
Got me thinking, like, I kind of agree with Goldstein. Goldstein usually in the right ballpark when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm fully on board with Strong Dad. I don't know if we really gonna have to worry about AI so much itself. It's gonna be so many other things going on at the same time because you know them are trying to code the genome and everything too. This is at the same time, you know, messing around with that CRISPR stuff. They doing it in China because they don't care. But you know, everybody else they supposedly not doing it. But you know, behind the scenes they always doing something. So we gonna have a bunch of different things. We learned about AI is just gonna be one of them, and it's probably not even gonna be integrated with us. Originally, they probably gonna.
You just bridged it, yo.
I mean,
you don't even know what you just did.
They already testing.
You don't even know what you just did. You don't even know what you just did.
What?
You don't even know what you just did.
What I do?
That's exactly it. You got the last piece of the puzzle. You, Goldstein, and Strong Dad just put it all together. The genomes. They just said, hold on, let me find the article. Did you see the article where they said they got eggs? Human eggs?
Oh yeah. They were creating like embryos.
Yeah.
With stem cells.
Word. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. July 15, 2023. Startup aims to make lab-grown human eggs, transforming options for creating families. So they're going to take one of these motherfucking test tube babies, plug the ChatGPT in his ass, pause.
Yeah.
And then now you're going to be in trouble because they're going to send you a genetic clone of like Winston Churchill and Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Jackson and Elon Musk. It's gonna be some kind of super cyber clone.
Yep.
And that motherfucker is gonna destroy you. They gonna steal fucking Joe Rogan's DNA. This motherfucker gonna know MMA and shit.
Oh God.
Wait till one of them. They gonna say, "Oh my God, the AI clones are racist."
Man, see, like, cause this is what I like. I think I like the little games and stuff they have because they had the post-apocalyptic games or one of the little genres I like of games.
Yeah.
Because they always have like a version of the future that's like an apocalypse, and they always have a different way that they say it came about.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts you in the mode of thinking about, like, yeah, well, what if something like that did happen? Like, what is the most realistic way that it would go in our reality, right?
Yeah.
And there's a couple that are really cool, but they don't really seem like it's one that's called Horizon Zero Dawn. I think somebody might have brought it up before.
That's the chick game.
Yeah,
and that shit was dope.
It started with AI though. It all started with AI, using the AI to create robots.
Yeah,
and then a rogue AI.
And shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like as the response. I mean, the game is like the new one is out, so this is already spoiled. But like that was the animals and stuff was actually a response to like them trying to like bring the world back after the machines destroyed it all. I don't know if you played the game yet.
Yeah, I played the first one.
But yeah, so that whole operation to even bring humanity back was actually what got me in that story, because I don't really care about the robots and stuff that much, but they used the robots to like simulate what the animals did, to create the environment to sustain life.
Right.
And they had like kept the children underground, and they used literally like clones to do that essentially. I'm pretty sure the main character is like a clone of like the lady who thought of the whole thing, if I remember the story correctly.
Yeah.
So like the main character is basically a clone, and they had the kids like underground, and they had like information from them to learn from, and all this other stuff, so that when they was set back out in the world, they would be able to do stuff and actually like know what they were doing. So it was like it's people like we actually are thinking of plans and we're not even really thinking about it, or at least like when you playing the game, it's like, oh yeah, this is a cool game, but I'm playing this game and I'm like, no, this is low key. We should be studying this shit. Like,
yeah,
like we might have to do some shit like this one day.
You another one got your kufi on too tight.
I'm glad we got thinkers out there like that.
You another one got your kufi on too tight. Too tight, man. Y'all be wildin'. Don Day, what up, Don Day? Wilmar, DJ, Chaz, NYC. You be wildin'.
I can't help it, man. I can't help it.
You be wildin', yo. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. When them black vans pull up outside your house. What up, nerd? Nerd in the house. Or was in the house.
I mean, just as long as they come in to ask me for some expertise on something, I'm cool with that,
Yeah.
I hope they ain't coming to, interrogate me or nothing.
Look,
I
the black
don't
vans
know
gonna
nothing.
pull up. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know nothing. All the stuff you heard just now, I just read that in some article. It's probably just some conspiracy theory. I don't know. You know how them, they be getting, the right wing rabbit holes and all that good stuff,
Yep. Tanah Rick said, question then, do you believe the soul is infinite? Oof.
I believe the human soul is infinite.
Since it won't have the live feed start oh shit. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say what I just read.
Well, I see where.
Huh?
What'd he say?
I'm talking to the Syscoin squad.
Okay.
Damn. I'm gonna tell him. Hold on. I'm gonna tell him we live right now. Talking about it. All right. So yeah. All right. So tonight here asked a wonderful question. Where did it go? Look like the chat just got active out of nowhere. Okay. If the soul is infinite, then you'll never have enough data to be human.
Right.
Because you can't quantify infinite. It's limitless. Or mimic human reality. He said, HJ, donate that crypto to your local animal rescue. All right, we could do that. You said what?
That's why they're going to end up integrating it. That's why there's the hybrids. It's always, like, if they miss it, it's everything we create is like a tool for us, essentially, at the end of the day. It just depends on how you use that tool. The scientists love to experiment with stuff. And what history has showed us has not changed. They just do it behind closed doors now. And, you see the results of the study when it come out, and they got approvals from all these different people to do stuff or not, depending on where they at and how much they care,
Right.
So I said the Chinese, they don't give a damn. They might even be ahead of us on a lot of that stuff just because they ain't even doing the fake procedures to act like they care about ethics. They just behind closed doors doing whatever they want to do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Black Hotep. According to my aunt, only the higher spiritual self is infinite. The conscious self isn't infinite. It dies after delivering life's records to infinity. Yeah, that's true.
The flesh.
That's true. I've never seen it put like that, but conceptually that's true. Or that's, I mean, I even believe that's how it's written in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken.
That's essentially it, yeah.
Yeah.
You're reborn. I mean, it's like, some kind of death has to occur for you to have been reborn, right?
Exactly. All right, let me go, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get out of here.
All right, Hotep and Bill, bro. I'm communicating with the Syscoin team right now. I'm trying to find how much information I can share, how much I can't. They still haven't responded. Alex is in here. Alex, man, where you at, bro? DC, yo, tell me what's up, man. DC's typing right now. Hold on, we on Telegram talking. We got a group chat going, and yes, we testing a lot of features, making sure it's robust. All right, so boom. Okay, I can talk about this. SuperDAP has AI.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
So while we're talking about AI, SuperDAP. In fact, we got a whole SuperDAP presentation experience happening at HotepCon. We're going to do a 3-day integration. We're going to integrate it with Hotep's Been Told You. We got that Thursday. We're going to integrate with Hotep's Been Told You. We're going to integrate the next day. We're going to integrate at dinner. Everybody that comes to HotepCon is going to leave with the Pally wallet. They're going to leave with some sis, personally delivered from me. I'm going to deliver the sis to you out of my own pocket. Just because, like, again, this is how crypto works. You want people to get involved in crypto? You have to give them crypto. This is how you get them involved. Nobody's just going to leave money sitting around, especially when they need it. They're going to go, oh, wait, how do I? Some of you might just run and sell it. I don't care. You're going to have to figure out how to do that. And in doing so, you're going to get the education. And now we got you. You're hooked. You want to do it again. You're like, wait, how can I get some more of that sis? Super dap.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Shout out to Jag, Alex, 1DC. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Such is life. I wish I had the hold on, maybe they got hold on, let me see if they got the he dropped that super dap. Oh wait. Yo, y'all got visuals for the super dap yet? Y'all got visuals for those yet? I know y'all ain't released it yet. But at Hotep Con, everybody at Hotep Con is gonna get the inside look at Super Dap. I'm gonna put it on your screen right now. All right. Hold on. All right. Sys Labs, Syscoin Master Notes, participate. Right there, Rolex Super Dap. That's coming soon. So this is going to have AI. That's what I just told you guys. You know what I mean? Breaking news or whatever I'm supposed to say. You know, whatever the grifters say. Breaking news. So this is going to have, this article doesn't even mention it. So this is definitely new. So we got AI going into the Super Dap. So that's why you need to be involved in Syscoin, because once the Super Dap come out, y'all gonna have to find me on the Super Dap. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all gonna have to find me because I don't want to transact in a depreciation currency. I wanna earn in crypto. At least I have some hope of the currency going up. I have no hope of the US dollar currency going up in value. That dream has long passed us. Long past it. So if I'm going to earn or we're going to transact, we got to do it in a different currency, man. We got to do it in a different currency. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, you know, you guys can stay on the other side. You guys can stay on the other side of the class divide. Then you'll be forced to use crypto.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Well, you get them Biden notes from your universal basic income. You know what I'm saying? So he said he got demos and pictures coming, updated website and roadmap coming soon. Fire. So, you know, getting Super Dap ready. This is going to be fire right here. I might not even exist anymore. You might have to just find me in the Rolex suite. I'm going to be chilling in the Rolex suite.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somewhere in the Syscoin metaverse. You feel me? Listen, man. It's been a great fucking show. I do want to just touch on this real quick from tonight. Source infinite as ill. Hold on. Because you can't quantify infinite, it's limitless. Okay, so it's right before this. Okay, here it is. If the soul is infinite, then you'll never have enough data to be human. You know, that's a wonderful way of putting it. I also want to add to it. If the machine is running off of human consciousness or mimicking human consciousness, that means at the time it is produced, it is already obsolete.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
In comparison, in contrast, in juxtaposition to the infiniteness of, what did Strong Dad call it? Because I like, you know, he be coming with that Hotep shit, that good, authentic, straight from here you go. According to Ma'at, only the higher self, only the higher spiritual self is infinite. So he calls it the higher spiritual self is infinite. The conscious self isn't infinite. It dies after delivering life's record to the infiniteness. Right? So let's put this in terms for people who believe in God or, use those terms, right? So according to Ma'at, only your soul is infinite. Your conscious self isn't infinite because, of course, you die. You're going to die. But when you die, the record of your existence during your time on this planet, in this realm, in this dimension, is going to have a record. And those records will be delivered to God. They will be delivered to the infiniteness, the cosmic, the oversoul. Okay? So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I agree. Interesting enough, I love the word ma'at because it just reminds me of Ma. How Ma is always associated with a woman. Mom, Ma, right? And Baba or Papa, male. Interesting, man. Interesting, because Ma'at she's depicted as a female. She's depicted as a woman. We can show that to you on the screen right now. All right. Oops. There she go right there. Ma'at was, hold on. Ma'at was the goddess of harmony, justice, and truth represented as a young woman. Sometimes she is depicted with wings on each arm or as a woman with an ostrich feather on her head. I forget what the ostrich meant. The meaning of this emblem is uncertain, although the god Shu, who is in some myths is Ma'at's brother, also wears it. So some people will call it an Egyptian god or principle. All right. Then you'll have the Ma'at scales, right? You can't know about Ma'at without knowing about the Ma'at scales. So you see the scales of Ma'at, right? See the scales right here. With I think that's segment. No, is that no? That's not segment. That's I forget his name. You know what I'm saying? This is the one you're most commonly seeing. In fact, Maj Toure uses this symbol right here you see on your upper right. Maj Toure uses this for his logo. Ma'at. Truth, order, and balance. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. That's good stuff. Hey, listen, Hotep's been told you tonight, 8 p.m. on Uncle Hotep. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about Bronson, Jamie Foxx, Hunter. Who else? We got a lot to cover tonight. We got a lot to cover tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't forget the link in the description box for Master Focus, 30% off. Once you hit that, remember, you're not going to see it in your cart. You got to go to checkout. When you go to checkout, you're going to see it right there. Get your Master Focus, your brain booster. Remember, we talking about biohacking. How much do people invest in biohacking? Biohacking their body. People, the stars, they invest thousands weekly. Minimum. It's minimum. So here we got the brain booster. If you don't hit the link, you can also type in Grift Report as a coupon code and it'll pop up as well. and then you'll get the whole thing practically like half off. You know what I'm saying? But you got to hit the link. If you hit the link below, it'll be applied automatically. You don't got to do anything. Just go to checkout. People have been asking about that. Just trying to make sure everybody understands how to use the website, how everything's happening. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What else? Alex Stein Monday. Saturday is the dissection of the white pill. Saturday we're doing dissection of the white pill. Sunday we're doing a watch party for Lila Hart's movie. Leah, one of my handlers, just texted me the information on that. So we're doing a watch party, both 2 p.m. Grift Report 2 p.m. You know what time I'm gonna be here. So a little bit changes pace on the weekend, but still bringing you good big brain content. And yeah, Saturday is going to be the white pill, Michael Malice's book. And like I told you yesterday, I have tons of notes. I think 18 slides. 18 slides according to my just cursory look at the notes. But by the time I put it in slides, it's definitely going to be over 20. Definitely over 20. So that's probably going to be a 2-hour lecture. If I go through the notes, and that shit's gonna blow your mind, and the way I'm using the facts may have been unintended by Michael Malice, because you know he paints a argument for the white pill, and I love the way he did it. He did it very well. Well written book. So yeah, the way I'm using the facts for a different purpose. Completely different purpose. It just so happens that he had done a ton of research that was pertinent to the bulk of what I was researching. So he kind of added some more pieces to, you know, my research. And so I always tell people, if you want to really get something in your brain, you know, I teach the kids this, you know, the rungs of learning. It's like seeing / watching, hearing, doing, and then teaching, and then iterating. Because you really don't know the facts until you actually try to teach them to somebody. Then you're like, wait, I have this gap in knowledge. You sometimes either the student will see it, or while you're teaching the student, you'll see, wait, there's a gap in knowledge here, and it'll really hone your research. So Saturday is also a meditation for me. It's me first time teaching the facts that and through doing that, it's going to solidify, and I'm probably going to make all types of wild connections with it, but it's basically on communism. It's basically a deep dive into Germany and communism. Germany and communism. That's what we're going to be covering on Saturday. Germany and communism. You know? And then Sunday, the watch party. We're going to watch a conspiracy theory video together. That's going to be a Rumble exclusive. So it's not going to be on YouTube. YouTube, if you're looking for me, you better subscribe over on Rumble. So I'm going to go over on Rumble, and we're going to do the watch party. And, yeah, that's going to be super dope. It's going to be super dope. Super dope. In fact, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. 4:52 p.m. I'm out of here, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tonight. Hotep's Been Told You with Uncle Hotep, the premiere show. The one that the Blaze needs to sign. Fox News needs to sign. They need to sign. Can you imagine if Hotep's Been Told You was on the Blaze? They need that. They need that. They need that content. Their audience needs that content. You know? We coming, Gledbeck. Pause. We coming. Man, yo. We covered a lot today. Thanks to my callers, we covered a lot today. I'm just closing out tabs and shit as I close out here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'll see you tonight, 8 p.m. Hotep and Bill.
Yeah, I can try to get that handled for you. Again, it's only my second day, so if you can give me a second. How I'm supposed to do this. How the hell are we supposed to do this by 5 o'clock?
I have no clue.
Is that possible? Hey, do you have the password to... How'd you finish all your work already?
He's not tapped in. How'd you get that done so quick?
They think they're gonna be able to budget that?
It's money. That's money right there. You understand? You guys finished your work 6 hours early?
He's not tapped in.